So, oh,
Hey everyone, and welcome to Eternal Mooncast, the streaming show all about Sailor Moon fan theories. We cover everything from the prominent to the obscure in the Mooniverse. I'm your host Michi with my co-host Selene, and joining us tonight is Monica. Monica is an author, game designer, cosplayer, and huge Sailor Moon nerd. Thank you for being here, Monica.
Thanks for having
Uh,
me.
Thank you for being here. But first, before we begin, just a quick mini disclaimer for everyone. We would like to remind everyone that these are just our personal opinions. We do not in any way represent Toei or the Sailor Moon intellectual property. We invite you to join us, though, tonight while we're streaming in the discussion. Tonight, we delve into the question of, is Sailor Galaxia the best villain in the Sailor Moon franchise?
Which that's just a heck of an introduction for the episode. Because basically, Galaxia, she's just an interesting character to me because not a lot of people know her. And I think, Monica, you would speak from best experience as a Sailor Galaxia cosplayer because that's an environment where Moonies are about.
It's true. Even not a super popular cosplay, which sort of surprises me a little bit because it's very iconic. I guess it's like technically an armor cosplay, depending on how you want to make her like breastplate thing. But it was definitely a thing people lost their tiny little minds about whenever I wore it. And I remade that costume twice and then paid Julia to remake it for me a third time. And people lose their minds for it every time I wear it.
It's so good.
It's because you're so dominating in it.
Oh,
You're so freaking tall.
I'm so tall. I don't
It's the
like
wig.
it is the wig adds. First off, I'm tall to begin with, and then I wear big heels, which makes me bigger, and then I have like her little teapot. Her warrior top knot, according
I
to
think
the-
even when I'm 6'2" as Nehelenia, you and I meet eye to eye.
yeah. Yeah. The shoes that I had for the original ones were like 3 inches, which made me like 6'3". So I was like just a little taller than you.
Yeah, but we were like,
We're just giantesses walking around in those costumes.
we were. It was amazing.
It was
It was
great.
fantastic. People were just like,
Yeah.
and moved away.
Yeah. I feel like our audience needs to know that I know Selene because you were walking around in your Queen Serenity dress and I was in my Uranus princess dress and you walked past me and I just went,
I was like, God, I'm gay. And then you met again.
yeah.
And I didn't realize it was you, though, because you look so different between Uranus and Galaxia. Again, everybody can know this. The reason Monica and I became friends after that, though, is we met up at Sailor Moon, the photo shoot at Katsucon. And afterwards, I walk up to her and I was like, can I ask you a favor? And she's like, sure. I was like, could you choke me for a picture?
Oh, I was like,
Politely.
yeah, I will.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like,
I have literally been with Monica when I was one of Neptune that was like serving Galaxia, which that's a whole different conversation for later on in the discussion. But I literally did see somebody come up to Monica and just be like, "Will you please step on me?" Like, lay down on the ground.
I was just like, yeah.
please.
Yeah, you were like, "Sure." Not the first time today.
I had to do it as Nehelenia. I think it's for tall women.
It is this whole
It's that
women. for
tall,
sure.
domineering. They're like, please.
Oh, one
You're
of my other friends was like, "You got to start charging people for this. You got to stop giving
You
it away
make so
for
much
free."
money.
I know.
I'm so
Uh,
good. I love you guys.
It was like also the reason that I was just like at you in your serenity dress was because I also thought you were hot. Like I was like, damn, look at all that ink. I'm good.
I love you.
I also am just like in that dress because I wear a corset and I am
Yeah, it looked
properly displayed.
great. It caught my eye.
But Sailor Galaxia, to the discussion.
Listen,
I am in charge of keeping the ship on a
Sure.
curved
You're-
line.
Do your best.
All right, so Sailor Galaxia, let's do a character breakdown because
Yeah.
not a lot of people know her.
the discussion can't just be about y'all being gay for each other.
I mean,
That's everything.
and it's going to continue to be.
It's going to
regardless
continue to
of
be.
Michi's
It
best
always is. Anytime we're in the same room, we're just like,
I love you too.
it depends on which Galaxia we're talking about.
That's true. Okay, so how do you guys even want to break her down?
So, do you want to
th-
discuss Manga Galaxia or do you want us to discuss 90s anime? Because she
there's
is different.
They are different characters. Let's talk about 90s anime first because
Mhm,
I like 90s anime Galaxia is probably one of the better 90s anime takes on a character. The
mhm,
thing that I particularly like about the classic 90s show was that the filler gave a lot of villains room to breathe and be real fleshed out characters. And while, like, y'all know, I fucking love the manga. Like, it is brisk. Like, a character introduces themselves, causes a problem, and dies. That's what you get with your villain. So,
true.
like, the 90s show gave the villains a chance to be people, and I think that's awesome.
Mhm.
And, like, the Stars arc of the 90s show, as we all know, I don't need to tell you two this, was produced ahead of the manga, so it just did its own thing after a while. And I think the own thing that it did is really cool, even if it's not how the manga ends. And so they're kind of two pretty different stories. So that's just me agreeing and explaining, as is my way.
No, definitely. And what I wanted to do first, just to establish, she is the villain of the Stars arc in Sailor Moon. And she is the all end all be all baddie of Sailor Moon because you figure Queen Beryl was first season, and then we had the Black Moon Clan with the second, and then we had the Heart Snatchers and Professor Tomoe. And like, I feel like Queen Helena was a great build up to her, and then she is just like alt.
Yeah. I also think it's really cool the way Sailor Moon does what's lots of other shonen shows fuck up, and that's the last arc is when they fight other people who are like them. You have this interesting progression of villains until the last arc is other sailor soldiers, like
When the
with
girls haven't thought about other sailor
other
soldiers at this
soldiers at
point. They're
all,
like,
right?
"What?"
Yeah.
That
Unaware.
is
Go ahead, go ahead.
the fact that Uranus and Neptune exist blew Sagi's mind.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
that's in her solar system. Like, it makes sense that they would never have thought about outside of that.
Yeah, like y'all knew that you have these powers from your particular planets. This whole we could jump into the deep lore here that like they have their source, the origins of their powers is from the planets in the solar system, and it didn't occur to you that there are like literally millions of others other planets out there.
I
And
guess they
so
didn't think that there was intelligent life.
maybe
No, and it wasn't Galaxia. Now, this will be where I lean more on your knowledge, Monica, because I know you're more of a manga. I know you guys are both rereading the manga recently, but the Sailor Wars is a big thing with Galaxia in the manga, isn't it? Or am I forgetting?
I don't remember it being referred to by those words specifically, but like
Okay.
this is the last stop on her like conquest of the universe, I guess.
She's Thanos
There
it up.
it's
Yeah.
not really in the manga as much. She is the cause of the Sailor Wars.
Yeah, she's the problem.
Oh,
But in the anime, she is the savior of the Sailor Wars, and the only reason the scouts find out about the Sailor Wars is through the Starlights. Like, the Starlights are like, "She's the one who took in chaos." And that's why that's why I'm saying, like, she's so different in the manga, and that's why I'm very curious about how Cosmos is gonna go.
which that's gonna be our finale is our
Yeah.
prediction for Cosmos.
So because she doesn't get a redemption
Yeah,
really in the manga, not like
yeah.
the anime.
Yeah,
No, now
not as clearly unambiguous a redemption.
yeah,
Mhm.
because now that we've established, like, she's the big bad, she's the cause of literally so much strife in the universe. Totally is there anything else general about her that the 2 share?
I think there's definitely as they both are like corrupted by chaos in some way. And I think you can see if you interpret some of her dialogue and depending on what translation of the manga you're looking at, a hint of that sympathetic hero who maybe had a good idea but was not doing it in the right way. And I think they share that. Not to be totally cringe on main, like I spent a long time writing her as a roleplay character, and so I have a lot of thoughts on synthesizing both portrayals.
Heck yeah.
And like,
In the 90s, I think they both have that very like you fucked up, we're done.
done. Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
She's got the
I-
very much you're done aspect.
Yeah. I think there's a through line in both versions of the characters of an element of ruthlessness. Of like, and I don't mean just like heartlessness. I mean, like she sees her goal and goes for it. Nothing's gonna stop it. Like she's
Mhm.
totally focused on her end goal, which is taking over everything for filling that void in my heart reasons. And I think both characters have a like, I am so empty inside. The only thing that makes me feel whole is subjugating other people, which like, oh babe, get a better coping mechanism.
Not wrong. Like,
However, please step on me, mommy.
I could fix her.
I swear.
okay, but so you guys wanted to establish 90s specific
Yeah,
Galactic.
let's talk about the portrayal in the 90s anime because it is the nicer, kinder, more sympathetic portrayal.
Sure is.
Which
It
might
sure is.
Sure is. She arrives early
Right.
because you have that like was it 3 or 4 episode arc before Stars continues
It's
where
6 episodes and it's fantastic.
those are my favorite episodes.
Me too. They're so
the
good.
Nephilia coming back,
Yes, that's so good.
so good. Galaxy is the one who brings her back. So that's very interesting that you get a peek of her. You get a peek of this big bag for Stars before Stars starts. So I found that very interesting. That's 90s exclusive
Mhm.
of her. So it's her kind of like sprinkling herself in suddenly that you didn't see before.
which is really interesting because we've never gotten a villain that's gotten a prelude, which is basically what we got. She was so big and so powerful that we got like a hint, which it's almost like it felt. I know I keep going back, but like the Marvel trailers where we just see like a hint of Thanos, like you just feel like that big bad is coming, and it's like, oh, this is not. Which, yeah, I know it's like every season. It's like, oh, it's like a bad guy we've never faced before, but no, this felt different to me as a villain.
Yeah. Those 6 episodes fuck. They're
Mhm.
really good. I think they're probably the 6 best episodes in the whole thing. And
Just
then
story-wise. Like,
yeah,
holy
just
shit.
story. It's such a good mini arc. And like part of that is also they like got a lot of characters who you don't regularly see interacting with each other forced to work together, and that's part of one of the things that makes that 6 episode mini arc so good. And then that's over, and then we meet Sailor Iron Mouse.
And then,
Like
In her
so
cute little suit.
in her cute little suit, teeny tiny. I always wanted like, and then there's the whole thing with Galaxia calling her on the phone before we even see her.
yes,
That's before she appears on screen. So every time Sailor Iron Mouse fucks up, she gets an ominous phone call that she can't avoid. She tries with this like threatening voice on the other end of the phone who's just like, don't you dare fuck up again. And while that was very funny, like it's darkly humorous, it also gave this like intense sense of foreboding. And that goes on for a while before she even sets foot on screen.
Yeah.
Like facing the other character, she does fight Mamoru in the world's most one-sided fight.
yeah. We should just talk about that because that's basically our introduction to Galaxia after the 6 episodes.
Yeah. At least in the 90s show, he gets an opportunity to fail to fight her back, as opposed to the manga where she just explodes him by touching him gently.
Just like,
Yeah. We had this great scene in the 90s where she like pauses time and freezes the airplane he's on in the air, and then he's like, "Oh, I went immediately into tuxedo mask mode. Guess there's a problem." And then he fights her on the wing of a plane for about 2 seconds.
yeah, it's not a long one.
She'll let him fight to be entertaining for her.
Her, yeah.
There was
just,
no fight.
just a little thing, just a little something for me.
She just needed just a tickle right there.
Oh wait, I found the clip. I found the clip of it.
Okay.
All right. I don't know. I guess it's gotta be the dub. We'll just
It couldn't have. I guess
or
the
could it
new
have been?
dub. Yeah.
Yeah, so there he
Okay.
is on a plane
Yep.
and
The
Galactic.
classic Mamoru outfit.
Yep. Villain time space stopping. We love
Right?
it.
And then he's just like transformed.
He's like, I'm so unequipped for this.
He's like, I just left Usagi. I am in trouble. I am on a plane. And then she's just he monologues.
He's like, villain, I won't let you. And she's like, shh.
I'm gonna finish my monologue. Thank you.
It should literally say the galaxy belongs to me. Like it's a heck of a powerful intro. Even how they
Come at me,
did the
little man.
and he's out.
And he's dead. All right.
Oh, I forgot they actually kill him.
Oh, yeah, no, he's dead.
I forgot that for
Yeah, when
some
she
reason.
takes it, they die.
Stars has a body count.
Starts with
Yeah.
high body count. But yeah, like from this point on, we're gonna just say spoilers for Stars because this whole season is just one body count after the next.
Yeah. Also, like, this 90s anime has been out for 31 years, as has the manga. I think we're past the statute of limitations on spoilers.
Yes.
If for some reason you are preserving yourself for Cosmos because you genuinely don't know what's happening, spoiler warning.
Yes. That is
Yeah.
where we're gonna go for the general introduction. It was pretty fine, but like now that we're gonna get into the spoiler heavy and that kind of thing, I really wanted to I always say it just for sake of grace. And thank you for that awesome video from Koichi's girl on YouTube.
Thank you, Koichi's girl.
But yeah, so Reka was being like, Mamo, I feel bad for Mamo for getting that little of a fight.
You know what's even sadder? We don't see that scene until almost the final episode.
Oh,
'Cause that's a flashback. She's looking at his star seed that Galaxia is like holding, and she's just, or either that or it's like right behind her. She's either holding or it's like right behind her. And Usagi's looking at it and it flashbacks. She's like, oh yeah, I got that from the guardian of this planet. And Usagi's like, "Yo." And then it flashes back to that. And I guess, I don't know if Usagi sees it. They don't indicate whether or not she sees it. But then she's just, it's, her falling to her knees and like a heart-wrenching scream. And I'm just like, can't do this. The amount of times I cried during the final battle of Stars, I was like,
I just
why
started
am I crying?
It's been a minute since I've seen this, so maybe. So Michi would probably remember since you watched it more recently than I did. So there's some implication in the manga that she did that on purpose, specifically to break Usagi. And I seem to recall there was a little bit like, I'm doing this on purpose to hurt you in the anime too. Do you remember if, I don't remember if she says that directly or not.
She does not know that Mamoru is with Usagi. She just
Okay.
goes, this was the guardian of this planet.
Yeah, she just was like, who's in charge here? Him? All right, cool, dead.
Yeah.
she didn't give him.
I guess flying and he was in the air.
Yeah.
He wasn't touching Earth anymore, so he was vulnerable.
I give her this credit. She did go get him herself.
She did go get him herself. I mean, like, checked the registry. That's the guardian of the planet. He deserves her full attention.
Yeah.
Nothing if not an honorable villain. One of the other things that I particularly like about her, she's not. Some villains are skeevy and duplicitous and have plans among plans, are like, crazy masterminds. And she's just like, I'm gay and stronger than you.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. She doesn't need to lie to you. If you don't like what she's saying, who cares? She's just gonna kill you.
She gives you a chance to join her. She's like, if
join
you
or
give
die,
it to
baby.
me willingly, you can live afterwards.
Yeah.
But you have to serve me. And I'm like,
I know.
Like, serve you how, ma'am? I can serve you in a lot of ways.
And then you guys remind me, do Uranus and Neptune die together the way they do in the anime in the manga?
No. The Outers have a tremendously dissatisfying death in the manga. They die off screen in the manga.
Okay, no.
Because they're fighting the Animamates.
Yeah, they go to their space castles to try to raise the perimeter around the solar system that I guess the Outers castles have. They're like, we're gonna go to space. We're gonna go back to our space castles, and we're like try to make sure that they can't invade anymore. We're gonna put up the defenses or whatever. And then Galaxia goes and kills all of them in their space castles off screen.
Why? Why? That's so unfair. They deserve better. Mamo got in person.
Because she don't give a fuck.
Oh, no, because the Uranus and Neptune death and their attack at Galaxia was one of my by far anime favorite moments in Stars.
Oh, I love that part of I love that part of the thing. I've binge watched all of Stars like in one go on a few times like at slumber parties or whatnot, and I've always been like the last person awake, like taping my eyelids open, and I'm like, I'm not turning this off until Uranus and Neptune die.
Yes.
The lesbians die, I'm going to bed. All right.
Because it's such a good death.
Yeah, it's a real winner. And they have such fucking intense lines to each other too. Like Haruka or says something to the effect of like, I'll sell my soul to the devil if it means I can be with you, or whatever. Or do your YouTube clip magic, see if we can find that scene.
I found it.
Very deep.
It's very, very deep. All right.
I'm trying to get the screen's acting a little weird. Okay. Let me try to fix it real quick. But I found it is their death and their why is this? YouTube is acting up.
I cry so much.
It's just such a sad scene. Like Uranus and Neptune get the best deaths in the anime by far. So what is going
And they're such gay deaths too.
They're the gayest. That is
Okay.
that is when they allow them to be the gayest, in my opinion, in the whole show.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. All right. We're just gonna have to deal with it being tiny because for some reason this is what I'm getting.
Okay.
But this is so what they were doing, if you haven't seen the 90s anime, is they actually pretended to sell their souls, or they did sell their souls, to try to get Galaxia off guard. And so
And
they
use her
attacked
own
her.
power against her.
And sorry for the quality of the clips. There's not a lot of good clips out there of this scene.
Only Miss Ma'am ain't got no starseed.
Yep. And so that doesn't work. And they are devastated.
They're
Like,
devastated.
oh fuck.
Because it was a good plan. It was a really good plan.
They're devastated by it. Like, they literally just like you see their arms kind of drop because they know they're about to die. They're like, we literally can't do anything. We thought this would work.
Yeah.
And like they apologized to Usagi because they had to like they end up killing Saturn and Pluto to try and prove their loyalty for this. So it's a big moment. And it just goes to show like what the Galaxia arc just does. Like, you want a drag of emotions? Watch the last, was it like 6 episodes for her whole battle?
Something like that. Yeah.
Here we go. Finally found it. From Sailor Moon Clips 98-99. So she removes their bracelets.
Yep.
And it says, let's see, I'm waiting for their big lines. I can endure anything with you, Neptune says to Uranus, even being burned by the fires of hell.
It's so fucking intense. Just
And then Haruka. And then they talk about it. And Haruka's so sweet. She's like, hell doesn't suit you. And then they're dying because their star seeds are gone. And they're literally fading out of the universe. And of course, Usagi's losing it.
my favorite part is that at the end of their like real intense love confessions, and they reach slowly for each other as they're disappearing into stardust, and like I'm just so moved. And then they finish dying, and then Galaxia just has this moment where she's just like, "Huh, well that was real gay. All right, time for the rest of you to die." Like,
but it's almost a look like she appreciates.
She appreciates the fact that they did this. That they like. She's like, yeah, I respect the fuck out of both of you. I'm still gonna kill the rest of you, just so you know. But
Yeah.
skip this. She doesn't fucking interrupt them having a dramatic death scene.
No, she lets them do it.
Like, I'm gonna let them monologue. Let's go.
I'm gonna let them have that. Also, you know that during their stint of being like her power slaves or whatever, you know they All three of them were that sex was crazy. Gonna say make a
Yep.
couple dirty jokes.
You have to. That's the season. That is the season.
I do have to say what makes me angry about this episode, like when I was rewatching it, that the animation for Galaxia, Neptune, and Uranus is fantastic. And I feel like another crew was doing the animation, drawing the rest of the episode.
That is actually maybe
Very
possible.
jarring. Like if you look at like Usagi's eyes along with the starlights, like their faces, the animation is almost different. Whoever drew it.
But that's just that scene though where they're reaching out and they're at different levels. I don't know if you guys could tell in the clip for because the screen was so small. But they're at different levels. Neptune is dropped down from where Uranus is. So they have to literally, with their last strength, reach for each other, to touch each other, to feel each other's warmth before they fade out of existence.
You're like, I wish someone would do that for me.
That's Galaxia's inner monologue.
She does look at them like, yeah, I need that in my life.
Mhm.
Yeah, 'cause she seems to respect them the most out of all the scouts. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
mean, that ties straight back into what I said. She's an honorable villain. It's sort of like, yeah, I'm a galactic tyrant and conqueror, but I'm not a monster.
Yeah.
And because that's the thing, she respects power. Because remember, Uranus took her sword to her, and Galaxia just stopped it with a hand.
Caught it, and then was also it's cute. I like
You're so
You
I like you.
I know.
like a toothpick. The other reason she respected them is they broke out of her trance.
True.
And that's what he was
True.
the fact that they surprised her is why she had so much respect for them, because she has not been surprised before.
No,
Yeah,
she
No one's ever tried to attack her.
They
like that.
tricked her, they broke the spell, they had the audacity to attack her even though it didn't work. And she's just like, yeah, okay, we're the opponents. And I think that's also something that's similar between the 90s take on her and the manga take on her is that honorable villain thing and the respect that she gives to opponents she doesn't deem as trash.
Yeah, do you guys remember how Iron Mouse died? Because I didn't, so I looked it up.
I'm pretty sure she gets killed for fucking up, like all of them do.
Yeah, but do you know that, like, she does it with a telephone? I gotta show you this. So, Iron Mouse is the one who's like, "Oh, if you don't wanna give me star seeds," and then the phone starts ringing. And it
Yes,
just rings.
goddamn ominous telephone.
And because that's the thing, they use telephone boxes in the anime transport.
I never got the opportunity to do so, but I really wanted to scare the shit out of an Iron Mouse cosplayer by calling their phone. Just grab one of their friends and be like, "Hey, can you give me your phone number?"
Oh my god, that'd be funny.
And then, because it's a con, I would have had to have someone make sure that they answered. I'd just be like,
Yeah,
"Mhm."
because and look, she says, "You disappoint me, Iron
Mm.
Mouse." And
And
everybody
just just be like, "You disappoint me, Iron Mouse." And then they turn around and I'm like right there.
Yep, I go, I think like, "I don't need you anymore," and, like, Iron Man is begging for
She
forgiveness.
just fucking executes her in front of everybody.
The Starlights and Sailor Moon! Like, it's without any remorse either. Just click.
And
Like
she is trying to like, talk her way out of this death.
It's not gonna work.
No, because what's interesting is, what's you gotta know what I gotta say. What's interesting is that she does it, and she doesn't even seem to look her in the eye, if you noticed. She was looking at the bracelets, it felt more like.
Give those are mine. Give those back.
Yeah, like, that's what it
Hello
felt like.
Also, hello, Relia.
Yes, hello, Relia.
The villain equivalent of breaking up via text.
It's like, "You are now not needed anymore. It is time for you to go, Iron Mouse." And it's like, did she have to do it like that in front of everybody? Have
Yes.
some respect for the for your
Yeah.
Well, then again, I
And
guess
yes, she did.
I think that was the thing is the way that happened though, that kind of gave the Starlights and Usagi just a glimpse of what they're potentially going against, because even Usagi's just like, she
All
just
of them are
killed
like,
her own person.
yeah. That's a whole different level of brutal than we've ever seen in the show.
It's not just because henchmen get killed by their bosses all the time in this series.
Mm.
That's just a common punishment for the boss villain to be like, "You have failed me for the last time."
Yes.
Uh, but this is that usually happens in private. It's back in their secret lair. Like Beryl blows up the
Like
shit
just
Tuxedo a bunch. Yeah, this is an execution. Not it's not just Galaxia like initiating death by punishment or punishment by death rather. It is an execution. She does it in front of people specifically to be like, "Look what I just did."
exactly.
Let's talk about probably the most important difference, and that is her redemption.
Oh, that please take off because that's so that's such a fundamental difference of Sailor Moon that I feel like it really needs its own episode.
They
So it's
give her a
kinda
different backstory.
Yeah, they give her a pretty different backstory. And I think the two concepts are easy to synthesize if you think about it, but like they are pretty different. And I think like okay, so the gist of what was going on with her in the anime is that like she had been corrupted by literally containing chaos, the ultimate force of all evil inside her, which is why she doesn't
Mhm.
have a star seed, why she's immune to that, why she goes totally apeshit at the end. And it is making her go crazy. And so like I think you can read into it that maybe some of that brutal behavior is like a bit of her latent personality. She may have already had a tendency towards behaving like that, but because she was filled to the brim with the ultimate evil, it turned it all the way up. Or I think we all have our own dark urges or intrusive thoughts or things about us that we're like, you think a thing that you would like to do, and then you're like, that's a bad thing, and I'm not going to do it. And I think every sort of has that aspect to their own psyche and their own personality. But let's imagine that you are being controlled by the ultimate evil, and you're not going to ignore those anymore. You're going to act on them and do all kinds of like, nasty things. And I think we see that in her character. And then at the very end, she gets fully corrupted by chaos and gets a cool, sick goth outfit. You
Oh
go
my
find a
gosh.
go find a clip of her, which I find actually silly looking, but I know a lot of people really like it.
Shadow Galaxia, right?
Yeah, I think so. She
Working on
goes
it.
from being all. I was trying to describe this, and the only thing that would come to mind are exalted references, and that's a very neat thing for two people watching this show. She goes from all gold to like all black and evil and gets an evil sword and
I almost found it.
all right.
Double checking the clip.
I think she has bat wings at one point. It's
She
very
does.
extra. Very
Mhm.
extra.
And her skin gets dark. She's like purple.
She looks undead.
I found at least 8 clips.
And the bat wings. Yeah, she goes from solar to abyssal for my two exalted fans listening to this show.
There we go. So it is right after this one I saw.
Oh,
Like,
there she is. There she is.
she don't look anything like you just saw.
Now she's all evil.
And
The
her
fucking
clothes are
Batwing.
all black.
The fucking bat wings. There's a sword.
There is.
I'm-
Usagi has
I'm-
a sword.
There's a sword. I'm really into magic swords, so I'm not opposed to the inclusion of a sword that's appearing now. And then it's like her sword, and then Usagi stabs her with it specifically to cleanse the chaos, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah, Usagi's is Chibi Chibi.
And Chibi is Galaxia's. So that's also a thing that's very different. That Chibi is Galaxia's starseed turned into a child in the 90s show, but she's the baby version of Sailor Cosmos in the manga.
which there's so much that we need explained.
We are in the weeds of Sailor Moon deep lore right now.
Yeah, like everybody put your bug spray on because we're in the weeds.
We are in the weeds.
We in the jungle. It's a little dangerous out here because it's like I said. I'm curious on like what direction they're gonna go because we've seen previews of the essentially like her redeemed form
Hmm.
Oh, her like
In
hair
no,
down form.
yeah, her hair
That's
down. Now, that is in the manga,
yes.
but that's, like, when she's on her planet.
Yeah, she swans about Shadow Galactic, her like Shadow Galactica palace in her little dress with her hair down a lot in the manga.
Yeah.
There's hair.
there is it's hot. Yeah, you're right. There's also a panel of her laying in bed.
What?
Yep, let me find it. Hang on.
Please do, because I'm like, I don't remember that.
It's not this volume. It is this volume. Okay, hang on.
Okay, I found Galaxia for you.
Sweet. Talk while I flip through this. Oh, there it is. I found it. Never mind.
Okay, so this is all of her forms that I found it from an old piece of
Yeah.
media.
And the only thing that's, like, not manga is the black outfit form. That
Yes.
bat wing, not a
That-
thing. That's purely 90s.
Which I'm not mad about it. I think
All right.
kind of a cool design.
Here is the
Cool
bottom panel where she is.
Cool Monica.
Hang on. Sorry.
I'm holding it up so there we go. See right here?
Hmm.
She is laying on a pillow. There she
She-
is. Yeah, she's in bed. She was having a dream.
And it's
She
next to
says-
that iconic one.
Yep. So that panel of dialogue says, "Just a dream, a tedious dream of the past when I was a wanderer seeking a place I belong."
Mhm.
Ooh, that's so interesting. Yeah, because we see her as a princess we see her as a princess in this one.
So I think the indication from the manga is that's just her detransformed form. It's just what she looks like.
Yeah.
And then all that hair goes up into the teapot and her the little knots around her head.
Yes. There we go. So that's so interesting. I didn't realize that was her bedroom. Whoop. And then what did Relia say?
In the manga, she also got to go drinking at the bar in the center of the galaxy, which is a real thing that happens. Yes, that's one of my favorite scenes in the whole manga, because then someone's rude to her and then she blows the planet up.
My mind just skipped that part of the manga. I'm sorry, what?
Hang on, let me find it. Hold on. It's a flashback. She's
It's like right
it's
after
actually
she leaves her planet.
yeah, it's a couple pages beforehand where she goes transformed first off.
Oh, hang on. Let me put you back.
Yeah, put me back. Yeah, so here she is in the background, transformed, drinking in a bar, overhearing a guy talking about how he's like gonna find the galaxy cauldron and become the most powerful. And she's like, "You're a piece of shit and I hate you." And then she goes and blows up the planet.
He needed
Yep,
there.
because she's like, I'll be the most powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you, bye.
Yeah, she overhears this drunk guy saying, do you know where heavenly bodies are born? Strong ones, weak ones, light and power. Everything arises from there. Where is that place? If you could take it, you'd be able to freely manipulate the stars and planets. If I could control the stars and planets, the universe would be mine. I could become a god and say goodbye to this sad life. And she knocks her drink over up here and says, "Scum will always be scum unto death." And then poofs out into space and blows up the planet.
What are you doing?
And then later she goes, there's the little shot, you want to put me back up?
Yeah.
The next page, you see her like on a totally another, like a different planet, and she meets fucking Wise Man.
Yep.
She does.
Who tells her where to go find the galaxy cauldron, because Wise Man is also chaos.
Yeah, he is chaos having an actual body.
Interesting.
He is not anything else. He is chaos.
Yep, just
That calls
chaos.
him Wise Man.
Hmm.
It's not like Metalia, taking over whatever force sheet that it took over on Earth. It's not like how it corrupted other people.
Yeah,
Like, Wise Man is chaos.
Yep.
that's so interesting.
And then Chaos says, "I shall show you where the true heavenly bodies that you seek lie. I, Chaos, shall show it to you." And then she wakes up. And that's the page where she's in bed. What?
It almost seems to imply that she has always had a chip on her shoulder, but like she might have been good at one point. In
Yes,
the manga.
that like you have to. There's a bit of a thing where you read into. If you can read into that scene, I think you can interpret that as like she was nobody from nowhere, and got her Sailor Crystal, became Sailor Galaxia, and instead of becoming a hero, became the villain.
What is that saying that evil queens are princesses that were never saved?
Yeah, something like that.
Like, it's a quote about Disney, but I think it applies here.
It
So
sure does apply here. And I think that ties into I have on the list of possible topics talking about like her sympatheticness, like the things about her that are sympathetic and relatable. Maybe dare I say relatable?
yeah, because anything else you guys want to talk about manga specific Galaxia before we get into those?
Oh, one, we just talked about my favorite scene from the manga. This implication that she like was from nowhere. She got this power. Like she's always had the ability to just blow up a planet by looking at it, which is maybe not something any mortal person should control.
Just a
And
little.
I just a little, and I want to talk about the ambiguity of her death in the manga because I think she gives up. I don't think she's defeated. I think she surrenders.
Ooh, that's an interesting theory. Please go on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to find what she says because she and Sailor Moon duke it out on a little platform over the galaxy called the birthplace of stars.
Oh yeah, if you've never read the manga and only watched the anime, the Galaxy Cauldron is a thing, and it's a very important thing in Stars. It's what the birthplace of all life, right?
Birthplace of all life.
Also,
Uh,
the reason Usagi is a thing.
yep, it's also the reason all Sailor Senshi are a thing. Period.
And Queen
Uh,
used to chill in there.
yep. So Sailor Moon, after undertaking a harrowing journey, like we're talking about Galaxia, but holy shit, the hero's journey in Stars, where like Usagi has to lose everybody, and then you did the mythology episode prior to this
Yep.
one, right? And you talked about Lacey and Namasani, right? Like the twins, not the Star Gardeners, the other two.
No, we didn't get to them
Oh,
actually.
okay. Well, like I may be mispronouncing it, but
Oh,
one of them is named Memory, literally Mnemosyne, and then the other one is the what are the rivers of the Greek underworld. So like, there's this whole descent into death thing. Usagi literally gets pulled underwater, like metaphorical, metaphysical water. There's a whole bit of like hero's journey style. She has to die before her ascent outwards, and Usagi's eventual apotheosis at the end. I should have been on the myth episode.
should have been. We're gonna. I
I was
wish you
busy
could
that
have
day,
been.
though. Yeah, I was busy though. But so there's this whole thing that happens before, and it's really important that you understand that Usagi is stepping into the Galaxy Cauldron utterly alone. And like with no one else with her, she confronts Galaxia literally on a platform above the birthplace of stars. They Usagi is of course overawed because as anyone would be, stepping on a platform over the birthplace of stars. Galaxia is like, I fucking killed everyone. Aren't you proud of me? And Usagi is unsurprisingly horrified. But she also realizes that this is, of course, the place and the opportunity to bring everyone back. So they fight about it. Galaxia is specifically like, I have done this to hurt you.
Dang.
And I want you to lose control. She says, when chaos tells you the truth about everything, your power shall likely explode, run wild, and blow chaos away altogether. And in that moment, I, Galaxia, shall become the cauldron's rightful ruler. So her whole plan was to just get Sailor Moon to get so upset she blows up and destroys chaos so that Galaxia can be in charge. That's her end game.
That's a heck of a plan.
Yeah, and then she makes it a point to make Usagi see her. I don't know if it's really happening or if it's an illusion, but she sees Chibi Moon and Mamoru get destroyed in front of her, which of
Mhm.
course makes her appropriately upset.
You know what I
And then
forgot
what?
in there? That we're gonna see the quartet again.
We are,
No.
yeah.
I completely forgot. I was like, "Oh shit, that's right. The quartet come back with Chibiusa."
Yeah, so then like she sees Chaos moving towards Sailor Moon and she's like, we've done it, we're gonna kill her. Yeah. And then Chaos attacks her instead. Uh
Interesting.
and zaps her, boils up from under her, blows up the platform that they're both standing on. There's a lot of scribbles and some sound effects that's hard to see in the manga. But Chaos attacks Galaxia instead of Sailor Moon, maybe because it knew she was gonna betray it. Uh, but what happens is that Sailor Moon saves her. She
Okay.
literally throws her out of the way. And there's this, you want to put my, yeah. There's this really good panel where she's like knocks her down. Is literally protecting Galaxia, who like 5 minutes ago was like, I killed all these people specifically to hurt you. She pulls her out of the way and protects her with her body.
After she just told her that. Right?
Yep.
Like, she said she killed everybody to specifically hurt her.
Specifically hurt you. Yep.
She's just like, Usagi, you are such a good person.
And that's the reason why Chaos is like perks up, because he realizes Usagi is the light to his darkness.
Yep. It was your destiny to come to this place where there is light, there is also darkness. Darkness summons light, and light in turn summons darkness. We are fated to pull each to the other, just as we had all originated from here as one, which is what the translation says. Part of Chaos's monologue. And then Galaxia, who had been knocked down, gets back up and says, "Why did you save me?" Begs Sailor Moon to kill her, realizes that she was being used by Chaos. Chaos had never intended to make her queen shit of everything, and that, quote, "This isn't the place I belong either." At the end of the whole thing, she's like, all of this, and that ain't it. Yep. And then, where's it? Where's her death line? Hang on. But they have a longer conversation. TV explains the whole chaos, cosmos thing. And then after listening to all of that, there's a talk of like a new future, making a better world. And there's a panel where Galaxia thinks, a new future. How odd. I didn't expect to find such words inside me still. Then she says, Sailor Moon, the place that I belong, that I finally found, is so big and so bright that it's out of my reach. But I believe that this heavenly body will keep burning brightly for all eternity, and then she dies.
Dang.
Let me pull the page up again.
The translation I have before that is, Sailor Moon, I finally found it. I found my star.
Yeah, that's another translation I've seen that I think I like a little better. And then it says it's like, it's so big and it's so bright that I can't attain it, or something like that.
It's Sailor Moon's unwavering, just her hope. After she saved her, she's like, what? And it's because Usagi goes in this moment, she's like, I've lost everything, but I'm not going to stop fighting.
Yeah. With
And
no
it's
one
the
else
first time
left to
Galaxia has
save.
seen that.
Yeah, with no one else left to save, I guess I'll save you. Galaxia's like, "Well, I think that fixed me," and then dies.
I think that, and it's such a horribly sad death, because it's like, for the first time she's shown kindness and love, and then she just dies.
I think it's Chaos breaks the bracelet, and that's why she dies.
Yeah.
What I see is her bracelet ends up getting smacked.
Yeah, you can see them breaking off as she's saying that line.
Yeah.
But she seems happy.
Yeah, she was reaching for Usagi, and then you see the Chaos, I guess, going after the bracelet. It's supposed to be Chaos, and it snaps, and she vanishes.
Yep. She doesn't, Usagi, Sailor Moon doesn't defeat her.
Yeah, which I do have the clip if you want me to play the 90s ending.
Sure.
Because it is vastly
very different.
Like, you're all about to get whiplash from just how 180. Like, the directors were not on the same page. All right, there it is.
And this hadn't been written yet, so the directors were just making their own thing up.
That would do it. Okay, so I actually have the Viz sub. So let's see. So there's their big battle.
Was that is that, Selene, is the version that you have like the bigger copies that they did? Yeah.
The Eternal editions?
Yeah, I need to get those. I still have
They're so nice.
First translation.
I was able to get them when
translation.
Barnes & Noble's been doing their manga buy one, get one half. And then a bunch of these were on sale on Amazon for like not even $15.
Nice. I want, more than anything, a big ol' like coffee table version of each arc.
Oh, yes.
like a beautiful
there are
hardback copies, like big old hardback copies.
I don't think they came out here though.
Oh, of course not.
I think the hardbacks were the Japanese version.
Okay, and there's where she breaks her bracelet. I think it's interesting that she starts out as Princess Seren. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to derail your manga.
No,
Go
it's
ahead.
okay. This is just me thirsting for a hardback coffee table copy of the Sailor Moon. That's all.
I would pay such money. But
Me too.
yeah, if you hear us, Toei, I know you're probably not our biggest fan, but we really love you. Yeah, Sailor Moon, and we would love hardback copies. But yeah, so I think it's interesting. She starts the battle when she gets into the final battle as Princess Serenity in the anime. Because does she do that in the manga?
No, she's just transformed as Eternal Sailor Moon the whole time.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I feel like that's almost like Sailor Moon default when we're in our finale. It is time for Princess Serenity.
Yeah.
Yeet. And
I
then
was
the way
looking to make sure that I didn't answer you incorrectly. No, I'm right. Just do her.
she just in
Eternal
her
form.
Eternal.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole ending is vastly different and definitely okay, so this is the flashback you were saying, right?
Yeah.
Which Chibi, there's Chibi. For those who haven't seen the pink hair, double pink buns with heart buns is Chibi.
And yeah, in the 90s, they made it as she is the light of hope. She is Galaxia's starseed that she sent out so it wouldn't be corrupted by chaos. They also made her the guardian of the starseed field,
Yeah.
Oh, the
the
Star
anime?
Garden?
the Star Garden.
Is it
They
referred
say
to as
like
the Star
she's the
Garden in the
guardian of
anime?
it. Huh?
Is it referred to as the Star Garden in the anime? I don't
I don't
remember.
remember what it's referred to.
I just
Okay.
But I
remember
know
it
they
was
said and like that's where her true spirit still is, that good side. Because Galaxy gets to live in the end of the 90s anime. She's supposed to go out and restore all the star seeds in the universe.
she's a lot of work.
Yeah. She got a lot of work to undo that she fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, but okay, but I think we've gone through the difference in manga versus anime. So do we want to start focusing and we can go back and forth now between the two. I just wanted to kind of establish them for people who may not be as familiar with her as us.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of those bases covered.
Yep. So let's talk about what you wanted to talk about, sympathy versus monstrosity.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about it. We touched on a lot of the details. I went off on the whole honorable villain earlier. I think there's something sympathetic about feeling like you're no one, like you're powerless, like you're trash. She uses the word it's translated as the word scum in this, but I've seen it translated as the word trash elsewhere.
Yeah, try.
Is that what they use in the
Yeah.
updated
She
version?
said, I'm from a trash planet.
Planet. Yeah, yeah. She's like, I'm from bumfuck nowhere. I'm nobody from nowhere, and I want to be queen bitch of the universe. And I don't know. There's something kind of sympathetic about that.
It's because all of us have been down at one
Yeah.
point in our lives, and we've all felt that like, I'm nothing, I'm no one. And it's that desire to do something about it. And it's like, you get it when you're pushed to a wall, something's gonna break.
It's because she felt empty.
Yeah.
And that's why I mean, in the manga, Sailor Moon has like a moment of clarity
Hmm.
after Galaxia dies, where she realizes why all of the enemies she has fought up till that point were going for her light. Because her light made them feel. It made them feel close. It made them feel completed. Because Usagi is one of the only scouts because she has the silver crystal, which, as we mentioned earlier, is the opposite of chaos. So where there's darkness, there's light. And where was I going with this? I don't remember.
We're talking about sympathy.
I was reading my wife's thing. I was like, what?
It's all
What?
Loki's fault.
I don't know where I was going. I forgot it. It went. My brain
Sailor
farted.
Moon's,
I just
Sailor
know I
Moon's
found it.
epiphany following a Galaxia's death, where she realizes that she's like this source of light
Yeah.
to people. Moment of clarity. Yeah.
I was oh, go for it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I always theorized, what if the Animamates were actually people she related to in a way, because she uses the same word to describe them as how she described herself, which is interesting.
I
'Cause
mean, they probably had the same feeling, and they were like, "I don't wanna die,
Mhm.
but I don't mind being part of this group because now I'm with people."
True.
Because maybe they came from planets that didn't have any except for Tin Yanko, because she betrayed her entire planet.
No, and the
Yeah,
She
crows.
killed Sailor Mew.
she sold the fuck out.
Yeah, she sold the fuck out. Oh, I remember where I was going. It's interesting because in the only thing I now that I realize I read that again, that I found relatable between the manga and the anime is you do have that sense of emptiness, and they're always trying to complete themselves. So that was one of the similar things. I was like, "Ah, found it. There it is. There's the little thing that lines up." I like I said, I find that interesting. It tied everything together with what Galaxia was doing with the entire manga, where it leads up to, and, like, how Galaxia was corrupted by it, because she meets Phantom, who's, the embodiment of chaos, and he probably just poked the stick at that longing. He was probably like, "Hey, by the way, you want
Mhm.
more.
I
Keep
mean, like,
going."
that's not even subtext. That's text.
And oh my god, did you read what Relia just commented, which I am like, not even. They are called the Animamates, basically soulmates,
Soulmates.
kindred
Yeah.
spirit. And I'm like, how did I miss that?
Yeah. Today, I just put that together right now.
They are
I'm
soul.
gonna I'm gonna publicly admit that I just put that together right now.
I did too. Don't worry, it was today years old.
And it's also a little wordplay on them being animals. I got that part.
Yeah,
That is so fun.
they're all are there? I don't know, what are the twins?
I think they're all animals except the Star Gardeners and the Death Twins.
Yeah, because there's
Mhm.
a frog and a fox in the musicals,
Yes.
which I would just want everybody to remember that there is a sailor frog.
Now, I will say that I don't think the it's Lethe, I looked it up. Lethe and Nemosity are refer to themselves as Animamates.
Could there
Let
be
me try to find their introduction because all Sailor Moon villains introduce themselves to the audience.
less?
Pull off two things and then die.
It's true.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to remember that Sailor Titanium Ketoro. How do you pronounce her name? Ketoroko?
Kuroku?
She exists, and she is glorious. Look at that cosplay. That could be your future cosplay.
No, thank you.
Okay, but I just always have to bring up
Yeah, it's
she
very cute, though.
exists. Oh, so are the original owners? Oh, okay. The comments coming in, which in Relia and Sailor Denzel.
I think the
Oh,
distinction is
yes.
Wilth and Nemesine are the original owners of the star seeds they're drawing powers from.
Yes.
Yeah. They were not given artificial power.
Oh, and then okay,
They didn't sell
so that's
bitches out.
oh, okay, so that's what they were saying. They're the original star seeds. Oh, okay, now I'm getting it. Now I'm getting it. We're not even
Yeah.
getting into the frog. So that would
Yeah.
explain why they are.
They say straight up, even when Galaxia appeared and death and stillness descended on our planets, we had no choice but to go with her.
Interesting.
So they were like, "Okay." They didn't sell out their Sailor Scout like some of the other
Yeah.
ones did.
So 4 of them just sold out because doesn't Sailor-led Crow get really angry at Phobos and Deimos? Raise crows?
Maybe.
I remember it's like to the back of my memory, so I'm trying to remember what section that could even be. But I find it like sympathetic that okay, it's sympathetic until how she treats them, but I think it's sympathetic that she sees people like her and she wants to save them. It's just
Yeah.
does
In a fucked up way, but yeah.
chaos is right here.
Yeah.
But
Prove me you don't die.
Yeah. Also, it's the Star
Fuck that,
Gardeners.
though.
It's the Star Gardeners who kill Lethe and Nemosity. It's not Galaxia.
really, because don't they
Yep.
also kill the Starlights and Princess Kakyu?
I think they do. Yep, they do.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
remember mine specifically going through Saya. So, okay, so that's
I'm excited to see them all
Yeah. Me
because
too.
there's a lot that we have not seen.
so much, so
And it's gonna
much.
be interesting to see them animated.
Yeah, because okay, but so it's like, okay, is she sympathetic? Were her goals noble? Like, or was it chaos? It's
I
No,
mean,
my
I
my I think my wife's got it is Galaxia the OG narcissist,
that was
because that's not wrong.
no, not at all.
Miss Ma'am gaslights like nobody's
Yeah.
business.
The gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
Yes.
Well, I think it's interesting how they're building her up though, because did you guys see the English voice introduction for Galaxia?
No.
No.
There is a video that actually introduces her. Let's see, it's her English voice introduction.
Is this for Stars or is this for the new movie?
It is for stars.
Okay.
So let me boop-a-doop. Hold on, everybody.
Hold it on to my butt.
Okay. And this is from Biz Media.
I wish they had given her just a little bit more ominous like the Japanese voice actress because she is just like
Too normal.
domineering just a little bit more.
Too normal sounding.
Yeah. I feel
I
she like a dommy mommy voice. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. If I'm remembering right, and I'm not sure either of you will remember this, the like in the materials collection, which are basically like the Silmarillion of Sailor Moon, and also a bunch of Takeuchi's notes. She has in her notes about Galaxia, which is one where she says that her teapot is quote a warrior's top knot, indicating that she's got hair under there. And two, it says there's a note, and if I'm remembering this right, because I read it as a scanned fan translation a very long time ago, she's supposed to have a deep voice.
Yeah, 'cause
Yes.
I don't know why my memory just went, "That voice doesn't go," but only because I pictured her with a much deeper,
Deeper
huskier
voice, yeah.
Well,
Was
she's
that
supposed to have a deeper voice.
did
Okay.
she have a deep voice in the 90s in the
In the
Japanese?
Japanese?
Oh yeah.
Let me find a clip
Kinda,
so everybody
yeah.
can kinda hear it.
It's deep as a Japanese woman's voice is gonna go and still sound feminine for it.
Let's see.
I think it's a higher register than Haruka's voice, but that's a pretty high bar.
Almost found it.
Not everyone can have Megumi Ogata's powerful contralto.
Trying to find, like, when she's, like,
Heard that for the first time and I was like, I think I'm gay.
Same. Oh, I was just like, "Oh,
You know what's sad? I didn't watch Stars till I was an adult.
I only got to watch Stars because of where I lived in Florida growing up, and I was next to Tate's Comics, and they had the VHSs to rent, and they were subtitled.
oh, Tate's Comics." I had a friend in high school who had moved here from California, who was my internet friend before she moved here, and then one day was like, "I'm moving to your state," and I was like, "Wow," and she was like, "I'm moving to a city that starts with an M," and I was like, "Is it name of where I live?" And she was like, "Yes," and I was like, "What?" And he was like, "And I'm going to this high school," and I was like, "What?" And that remains one of the weirdest, most serendipitous things that has ever happened to me. But she had pirated by basically VHS copying a shit ton of anime that she had just rented from a video store in California. So she had tons of properly subtitled anime. Yep. From a store in California that she brought with her. So I got to see all of this that I couldn't see normally by going over to her house and sleeping over.
Yeah. And so this is the original voice of, the Japanese voice actress for Galaxia.
The best Galaxia voice is, without a question, the woman who played her in the 90s musical.
What I wanted to say is I love her because she is the snarkiest version that I
Oh my god.
whenever she's like, "Oh, this is the meaning of the biggest losers in the galaxy," I'm like,
She's a good mix of the manga and the 90s.
Yes, very much so. And it very much informed the way I like to ham it up when I'm in cosplay. I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna act like Galaxia from the musical.
I think the musical Galaxia, especially from the 90s, is so underrated because musical Galaxia is just funny and terrifying at the exact same time.
Same time.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back. Before we get back to our topic of the night, we are going to get down the rabbit hole with Selene and Moonie News.
Good evening, and welcome to the Moonie News. I've gotten word in the studio that the Three Lights idol group has been spotted in Juban High School. Wait, this just in? Oh my stars, they will be students. How exciting. Now, on to our true segment. All right. So we actually did have some more Moonie news than we did last week, which is really exciting. So a lot of announcements this week that happened, which I'm really excited about. This is as we get closer to the Cosmos movie releasing, we're going to start seeing more and more merch actually pop up, which is very exciting. Full screen that? Cool. So one of the first things we are seeing is a jigsaw puzzle.
That's so
I
cute.
don't know if I can get that any bigger. Hold on. Why are you all the way down there?
It's so nice to see Eternal merch.
Yeah. So it's going to have all the scouts. It's going to even have the starlights, and it's all of them in their eternal forms, which is very nice. I'm excited. I buy the puzzles. Do I build them? No, because I don't have the room to build them.
I do.
I have all of the puzzles that have come out. The one I really want to build is the one where it's like all of the scenes from Sailor Moon that it actually makes like Sailor Moon's face when you like
Oh,
back up from it. I really want to build that one. Have I had time? Absolutely not. Yes, also we have cats and dogs. The cats would knock the pieces off and the dogs would eat the pieces.
teamwork.
So we have to be very careful with puzzles. They look very pretty on our game shelf. Our next one, we'll share this one. This is going to be post-it notes. So these got announced for more of the stationery line. These are super fucking cute. So we got some more stationery released with the new Cosmos movie. We're gonna have the Starlights as one, the Outers as one, and then the Inners as one.
Yes,
So
give me
that's
outers.
really cute. So it's gonna be post-it notes. I want to really get them. They're super cute. We also got mini letter sets, and then I think these are the post-its. I think these are just notes
Cute.
because these say tech. So these are gonna probably be sticky with them. And again, it is separated in the same way. It's starlights, the outers, and then the inners.
Mm.
As you can see, here's inners, outers, starlights. And we got notebooks. We got B6 notebooks. We got
Cute.
inners, outers, starlights. And these are folders, so clear folders. Oh, and we got tabbed ones. I didn't see these earlier. So these are clear folders. And then we got tabbed ones.
Cute.
And then we got sticker sheets.
Oh, stickers.
Yes. And then we like closed portfolios, which these are super cute. I've actually got one from the museum.
Oh, that's awesome.
These are more stickers. Oh my god, they have Kakyu and Chibi Chibi. And you don't
Oh,
see a lot of with them, so I might be grabbing that.
yeah, it's Chibi. I've hardly ever seen merchandise because I have a friend
Yeah.
who loves her.
I have probably whatever they have, except for I think there was a baby doll of Chibi, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Maybe I think it's like one little thing of like a doll of some sort that I don't own, and I'm like, it's so expensive. I'm like, "Oh, I can't justify that." So something that we actually shared, I think 2, 3 episodes ago. So I had announced that they were gonna do acrylic stands of the Dead Moon Circus, which they were gonna do full sizes. They released the mirror in the store and on the fan site, I think a couple days ago. They sold out in under a minute.
that's insane.
Holy shit.
So we're hoping that they do announce that they're going to do another release because it did sell out so fast. But I found out through my proxy services that it took a minute for it to sell out on both sites. So I really wanted this. I'm a little sad because I did want to get a hold of it. But Hopefully I have Moonie news that they're going to re-release it.
Yes. We'll hope.
What else we got? We got, like I said, we have a bunch today.
Yeah.
I'm so sad, but these, because my iPad is too big, these are going to be tablet holders. They're going to be 11 inches. I have the iPad Pro, which is 12.5 inches. And I'm like, look how cute these are. Also, this is one of the first times they've actually had like tablet holders. Normally, we don't see those. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Shh. Yeah. Shh, Loki. I understand that they might not restock that mirror. Makes me sad. So this is actually one of the first time we've actually seen like tablet holders. I don't recall before ever seeing a tablet like pocket sleeve from them. So that's really interesting that they're actually going to do that from. Now I've seen it with collabs because there are a couple collabs out there that Sailor Moon is doing, and they do have this kind of stuff. But actually seeing it from the Sailor Moon store, we haven't seen it before.
Hmm.
We also have like cute little pouches for your purse. So those are really cute. They're clear, and it's 2 pouches. So it's the clear outside and then that smaller pouch on the inside. So like great for holding the stuff in your purse.
Cute.
And then we're going to get stickers.
Cute.
This is a whole sticker set.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
individual
Of
stuff.
individual portraits, which is really nice because I don't think we have too many things with them being individual with the new movie.
Mm.
I don't think they've announced acrylic stands yet. I don't think I've shown that just yet. But here we're seeing stickers. We're probably going to see acrylic stands soon. They do have the cards that they're going to be giving out at the movie theaters. And then we have one more thing. So this is the Ensky shop. So this is showing those stickers again because they're going to be released through Ensky. This is what I wanted to show. So these are going to be like cute little notepads. And then it's going to be like just for you to have a little notepad. And so there's a little bit more stationery. There's a lot more stationery with this movie, I've noticed. Possibly there was a demand from the last movie. People wanted to see more stationery than. So they have one with them in their regular outfits and then with them transformed. And it's only the inners with Chibiusa. I do not see the outers.
See my
And
complaint.
you're like, I'm going to complain right here.
Yes.
It's really interesting how much stationery is coming out for this movie. For the Eternal movie, we didn't see that much. We saw the acrylic stands and stuff like that. Honestly, the Eternal movie did not get enough stuff. But that is it for merch. Now, Michi is going to bring up something we found that was they've been releasing over the last, I think, maybe 2 weeks. And this is going to be Sailor Moon Official is doing YouTube shorts. Do you want to start with Usagi first?
Yes. I will
think
go back then. Oh,
So we're going to.
you're asking a lot of me.
I'm sorry. So what they're doing is these are promotional trailers for the movie, and they're for each scout. And they're super cute.
She's so cute. The animation is adorable.
It's better than the Eternal movie.
And it's
Because
like
they don't look like these.
light years and eons above Crystal.
The Eternal movie, they looked like, what I say, petite,
Polly Pocket.
whatever, that one anime.
Petite. You're trying really hard in the back of my brain.
I'm sorry, I don't remember. So here this is going to be Jupiter and Mercury's. I think these are super cute just to it gives like a small introduction of the scouts without giving us too much of the actual movie.
Also, I love we get to see both their serious side and their goofy sides.
Mhm.
Also, I ship it. So that's them. And then
I'm excited for the next trailer you're about to play. So they did one for Mars and Venus.
Burning Love, Burning Love.
Yes. They're going to show it in a second.
Oh,
Right here, they give us a glimpse of why so many people ship Mars and Venus
I am so done.
in the manga. Because Mars and Venus had this moment where they're like, we don't need men. And they're just like all over each other. And you're like, ma'ams. It's very pretty. So I'm excited because they gave us a small glimpse that they are going to put in the movie.
Make it gay, make it gay. But
Can I come back for an episode that's just the bisexuality of Sailor Moon? Absolutely.
Usagi is a
we
bisexual icon, to be
we
honest.
stand a by queen. It's true.
And then here we got the Starlights, which is very cute.
Oh, so cute. I love this. Right
I'm
now,
so glad they didn't give Taki such a huge forehead.
yes. As
It's a
someone,
little bit more proportionate this time.
as someone who had to cosplay them, thank you. So that's them. And then the best one of all, that's just my opinion, but the best one of all, yes,
Yeah, there they are.
wife. Love these scenes so much. Because Michiru is actually goofy. We get to see her goofy side. I'm so happy.
I love their extremely married behavior at the beginning of this arc.
Oh, they're ridiculous. That is wife. Like, I love them.
Yes, we're
Oh,
very.
and
I'm
they're
excited because they might. I guess they're gonna do Pluto and Saturn next,
yes.
or maybe they'll do Saturn with Chibiusa.
How to get giving the side eye to Michiru is just like the cutest thing.
That
Mhm.
the
And we get
I
to
love
see
that scene
Michiru
so
actually
much.
do her violin attack. That they've already hinted towards that, which is really cool.
They're reading the forums.
So we hope.
We hope. Okay, so it's that.
That's it.
All right, and that was the Moody News with Selene.
Yay! I actually had more news this time. There
I
was
know.
actually stuff. Like I said, as we get closer to the movie, I'm probably gonna have quite a bit on what to show you guys that's gonna be releasing in the Sailor Moon store. Especially because when it releases is gonna be around the second part's around is Usagi's birthday, and they always do something for Usagi's birthday, so I'm wondering if they're gonna do something even bigger because of part 2 coming out on her birthday. We'll
Yeah,
see.
because you guys, okay, so you guys know my theory with the cosmos, right? Or have I don't remember. I know I already talked Selene's ear off about it, but Monica, have I ever told you my theory with Sailor Moon Cosmos?
I don't think you have. I think
Okay.
it's are we going straight into let's talk about the movie?
Oh, true. Reeled me back. Reel me back. All right.
And it's fine. I'm not
Arc-
married.
Reel yourself back. There you go.
I
I'm not
know.
married to the order the topics we're in.
And since we started with the movie, do we just want to go into the movie right
Yeah,
now?
let's just talk about it since it's on our
I'm interested to see where they're gonna go with what clips we have seen
Okay.
so far. Are they gonna do a mix? That's my thing. Are they gonna do a mix of the manga and the 90s? Is Galaxia gonna get the redemption arc that she got in the 90s? That's my question.
It's supposed to be 2 parts, or is it one big movie?
Two
Two.
parts, so
parts,
2
okay.
movies. So we're gonna get 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Because people were worried because they did not announce that it was gonna be 2 parts until last month when I did the Moonie News, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah.
We
I
were
was
sweating.
like, I guess you could do this in one movie, but you'd have to cut something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, they already
alright.
cut. I was just gonna be like, how many Animamates did they cut the last time, and they didn't even shorten it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, so my theory with this movie, and I've said it a couple times on the show, but maybe you guys are new or anything. I think that they're gonna go past Cosmos. I think that the reason they're not calling it Stars, the reason that they are that the Eternal movie was different from the manga more so than the first 3 seasons of Sailor Moon Crystal is because they are preparing to give us a new arc.
I will
And
shit my pants.
you'll just see a live go on for this podcast, and this is gonna be me and Celine and whoever else just screeching.
I will be fucking sobbing if we get something past the manga and they announce something new after this as the movie's finishing, that they're gonna announce that we're gonna get something past that to like, see her actually become Neo Queen Serenity. I will actually fucking sob. Or if we get a Chibiusa arc, I don't even care. Like her and her scouts, and we actually get to see the future. I don't care. If you give me more Sailor Moon content, I will cry like a little bitch.
But I feel like it's a very big sentiment in the fandom. Please, anything, we'll take it. I don't know,
I'll
what's
just
your
cry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Monica, what's your thoughts?
My expectation was that it would just be a faithful adaptation of the manga.
But that's the thing, Eternals was different.
Was that the last movie?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna admit that I haven't watched.
We all know what your favorite arc is. It's
Yeah,
fine. It's
like
3 and 5.
I actually had every intention of watching it with a friend, and I was
Mhm.
like, I'm saving it to watch it with them. And then we
Ah.
forgot to schedule a time to get together, and then I'm just saving it to watch it with my buddy. I really want to watch it, but I'm saving it to watch it with my buddy. And then I fucking forgot. And so like the scheduling never happened. And I just was like, I'm saving that to watch it with my friend. And then that never happened. And that was like, what, 2 years ago? So I think I'm in the
Yeah.
clear to watch it by myself now if I want to.
Yeah. You are.
Maybe I'll
You
watch
might
that
want to
before we get
watch
off
it
this
before the
call,
movie in
actually.
case they refer to it.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I didn't
'cause-
know that. I didn't know it was different. I was just expecting that arc, but a movie.
No, because it's like me and 10 people noted. It's very
Oh,
subtle.
okay.
And
All
also
right,
they changed the princess dresses, and I'm very angry about that because they had Godettes. And I know because I made that dress and I slaved over that manga artwork. Sorry, tangent.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a different ending. Selene, help me remember. It's Pocket Rocks are different, right? The generals.
They're still pocket rocks.
They're still Pocket Rocks, but I swear there's a different. Oh, I can't remember the exact part. It's different.
I'll watch it and I'll
We'll have a
I'll see if I
discussion.
catch what you're talking about. Yeah.
Maybe we'll have an
Um,
episode.
Yeah.
I'm
so,
trying
like,
to remember what, because they put the other scouts to sleep still. They
Yes.
put them back to sleep. She still does the transformation with everybody.
But there's something different. I remember. I swear I remember that there is something that's just not
There might
the
be
same.
something different with Helios, with how that ends, possibly.
Because I feel like they're setting it up differently. Like, it's similar. It's very similar to the manga, but there's something different.
I have to rewatch the ending.
Yeah, sorry. We will make this a different episode topic because I want to get into that.
Okay.
But let's continue.
I mean, if they don't make this movie true to the manga, that we're gonna know with part 1.
And I already can tell you it's true to the manga from the clips that we've seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were a bunch of things in the trailer where I was like, oh, this is some of my favorite panels. Give me a second and I will pull up some of them, but go ahead.
You know what's one of my favorite panels is whenever Yaten criticizes Michiru's makeup and she is ready to make
Oh, yeah.
she's ready to make murder him.
Immediately, everyone else is like, yeah, the 3 lights. And Haruka is like, it's fucking sus. I don't like them. I don't like them. Anybody you like, I don't like. And
Yep.
then Michiru is like, calm down. It's fine. And then Yaten says a catty thing about the color of her lipstick, and she whips around and is, I want that twink obliterated. And Haruka is like, you're terrifying, my love.
It's the best thing ever. It's hysterical. And I thought that made it into the 90s anime, if I remember right.
I don't think so either.
Because I
Yeah.
love that, because that is so funny of Michiru, and we never
The
get
only
that.
interaction they have is the one with the zipping of the dress.
Oh, and that's just Seiya.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Cosmos, I honestly, seriously believe we could get something past what we saw in Sailor Moon Stars. I genuinely believe we might get something. I don't know. I can't guarantee it, but just the way that they're setting it up, it feels like they realize their audience has grown up with them. Their audience is still here. We had not left them in however long you want to talk about it. Since you guys know whoever discovered Sailor Moon. But I honestly do think that they are preparing to grow with their audience and gonna actually go past Sailor Moon Cosmos. Maybe it's gonna be the movie format, but how cool would it still be to get 2 movies past Cosmos? Maybe in Crystal Tokyo, maybe in the Silver Millennium. So it could be the why Crystal Tokyo happened. There's so much that we don't know that we want to know.
Yeah, there's a scene in the trailers that I remember seeing at the part where Galaxia sort of appears to Usagi, threatens her with a dream of like, blowing everything up, and then she like points at her and like, pokes her in the forehead. It's this scene in the manga.
Oh, hang on, let me make you
Up here.
Oh, yeah.
And then like we see a little bit of that where like she points at the camera and everything blows up and then it like zooms straight in on her face.
Yeah, because there's a lot of that imagery in the trailer. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's from volume 12. That's from the
Really?
last volume. Yep.
Ooh, so these are all, yeah, because there's her star seeds, there's Princess Kakyu.
All right. All right. There, that right there. Yes. That clip right there is that panel I was just holding up.
Go back. Nope, not back far enough. There. This one?
Yeah, that's this panel right here.
Huh? Oh, it looks different animated to me. Hang on, I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
bring you back
Yeah, can you
up.
put me in the same frame as the
I'm
thing so we can
doing
see it side by side?
I'm doing fantastic.
Is that a
Give me
Ah,
one.
there it is.
Yes, right here. And then
minute.
yeah, she comes flying towards her, which is how I read it in the image.
Okay.
Uh, and then pokes her on the forehead.
That's so it's gonna be a big moment then whenever she
Yeah.
pokes her on the forehead.
Yep.
Oh, so
I mean,
that's
it also depends on what part of the movie that movie 1 ends on.
where if you guys were to cut the manga in half, where would you do it?
Like if I were to split it into 2 halves.
For Sailor Moon Stars? Or
Okay, where would I oh shit. I think I
yeah.
would split it shortly after that part. Because the first part I think can be is gonna move pretty quickly. Like most of volume 11 is the like slice of life stuff.
Mm.
Like that bit at the beginning where we're gonna get to see Michiru be like, I want that twink obliterated.
Yeah, because honestly, that'll forever be one of my favorite Michiru panels. So angry.
I think that right up until
Yeah, because they're
yeah,
gonna do all the slice. Oh, I just found the meat cheater panel where she's pissed off.
yeah,
I love that panel. Would you mind showing it?
It says, I'll read it really quick. It says, Haruko, we have no idea who these people are or where they're from. They must die. I want them out of my sight.
I love
And then she
her.
goes, wait, where's Makoto?
I love her so much.
you see Haruka down on the bottom of the panel being like, you're scary.
And then, Monica, I found the scene you were looking for.
Okay.
Oh, and this is where poke.
That's boom. Yeah.
Now,
Yes. That's those panels.
I want to point out something I didn't realize at first.
Mhm.
Usagi doesn't have eyes in that frame.
Because it's like happening in her dream. It's not really happening. Like
Oh,
Galaxia is like threatening her in her subconscious.
dang.
There's this whole part of the manga where Galaxia is just like fucking with her head at a long distance.
Really?
I can't wait to see that animated. Like that gave me chills because I knew exactly the manga panels it was from, and it was just like, oh fuck, this is gonna look so good. I'm gonna cry.
Oh, look at Chibi. She looks so cute. Oh, Galaxia as a princess. We see her as a princess in battle too.
There was
Oh,
there was another trailer, and I swear I thought I saw it, but maybe I was remembering those panels. That's the same panel where she grabs Usagi by the leg and pulls her down.
oh, that was this trailer.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right here.
Oh, hang on. Let me.
Yeah,
One day, Michi will master these controllers.
it's fine.
That's so they are going.
That's pretty far along.
I
That
forgot
would be
how
like,
early scouts start dying.
oh
in
yeah,
Stars.
it's like fast. Mercury and Jupiter bite it real early.
Yeah. The silver
Spoilers.
aluminum gets them.
Yeah, like this that has a body count. Like by the time this movie is over, I think everyone's gonna be dead. I think this is gonna end with Usagi going to the Galaxy Cult, like going to Shadow Galactica. In the
Agreed.
I think it's gonna end with her, and then the second movie is just going to be start with maybe dealing with Lethean Mnemosyne. I think that maybe it might start there. I have to look because it's
It's gonna
just
be really
like
heartbreaking to watch her get her letters.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that. Because do you think that's going to be in the movie or a focus of the movie? Because have we seen anything? Because what it is, since Mamoru is away at college, aka dead, because Usagi thinks he's at college in America. She's writing him letters because originally it was set in the 90s. So I guess that makes more sense than like trying to internationally. Oh, question mark? Cheaper. And they are students. But so Usagi keeps writing him letters, and of course he doesn't answer because he's not there. And then Usagi just what is it? She just keeps writing them. Just do they get returned?
It's Saya writing her back.
Oh, that's right. Make it worse.
so manga wise. To answer your question from a little while ago, I would pick up with Act 56.
Okay, and what is Act 56?
It's the part where they go to Sagittarius Alpha Star, the center of the universe.
Okay.
It starts with this really fucking cool 2-page spread. Go, I'll give you a minute to switch back over to my camera.
Oh no, you're actually still big.
I'm
So
still big. Okay. Yeah. This is where I would start part 2. I think from the clips of stuff we've seen, that's where we are gonna start.
And then I swear, wasn't there a trailer though where they had a 90s anime moment?
Maybe.
Because I swear they had like a like why am I not good enough moment.
It's also possible that moment was in both.
Was it in both? Because now I'm double checking my
Yeah,
memory.
if you can find it and play it, we can talk about it.
I
What
think
is
I
it?
found it. The really, really sad moment where Say is like, why am I not good enough?
He's got something similar. He's just like, why can't you be with me? I also, because I kind of forgot, we're not going to have an airplane scene in the new movie because she kills Mamoru in front of Usagi
Yeah,
and
and
then
that
she faints and she thinks he left on the plane,
and she's, like,
Oh.
blocking out the memory that he's dead. And it's
that
difficult
he
to
died in
tell
front of her.
that he died in front of her, and it's ambiguous as to whether or not that is a trauma response or Galaxia sealed that memory to her.
Ooh.
It's because she keeps trying to remember it, she gets a bad headache, she can't really remember the details, and then she passes out, which you certainly could
Yeah,
read
I've
as a
got the
trauma
picture.
response. Okay.
And this is when Mamo dies.
Oh, that's that moment. Because that
Yep.
taking up
That's
a
in the
whole
trailer
page.
too. That's in the trailer too.
Oh yeah. Okay, so maybe you guys are right, and it is straight manga adaptation. Because technically, like, it wasn't ever adapted fully. And this was the moment that I thought that they were referencing the "Am I not good enough" from the 90s. Because we see Usagi and them on the roof, but it's so ambiguous because you see them, but you
Mhm.
don't know.
Oh, they do a lot of standing on the roof in the manga.
Oh, darn, because you know the
They
scene
do a
I'm
lot of
talking.
standing on the roof. Yeah, I actually think I can find that panel. Give me a second.
Dang it, for those who don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
that.
I found I don't know if it's this one. I found something like it. They do a lot of standing on the roof. Is
Ah, darn. Okay, so this is the scene we were talking about in the anime. So this is when Seiya is confronting Usagi and it's raining on the rooftop, and Usagi's talking about how Usagi could survive just by herself, but she needs the going, but she can't stand being alone. Which how interesting. We're talking about the thing that very much pushed Galaxia over the edge.
the edge, yeah.
And Usagi is crying and about wanting to see Mamo and not having heard from him, and Seiya is just, like, angry. Like, "You are too good for this," and says, "Am I not good enough?"
So he
Oh, I know why they're on the roof.
go on.
For the Cosmos.
Oh,
I found the panel.
Okay. I knew it was a panel.
So he's not asking why she's good enough. He's trying to make her remember
Oh,
that Mamoru died.
yeah, I'm on this. I found the same spot.
wow.
That's what I was just about to bring up. Yeah, he shows her how to figure out the like because Mamoru sends her like a card with a picture on it,
Yeah.
and then they use those cards Mamoru mailed to her to reveal that he's dead and Galaxia killed him. And, Seiya makes her look at it to remember, and then she freaks the fuck out, and Seiya hugs her and kisses her on the
He's like,
forehead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then he says, I didn't mean to hurt you.
Oh, so this is a very different scene in the
Yeah.
90s versus the manga. This is
Yeah,
a 180.
like Seiya doesn't there like it's pretty clear that Seiya really wants to fuck Usagi in the 90s anime, but he's less like that in the manga. And that's when I'm using he him pronouns to refer to their boy forms, which I believe still use he him pronouns in the manga too.
They
Okay.
do.
They do, yeah, I thought so.
When they're the
Uh,
Starlight, they are male pronouns.
or he him, yeah.
When they're the Three Lights, sorry,
Right.
they're male
Yeah.
pronouns.
Yeah. So because this is say in her three lights form, I am using the he pronouns. Yeah, his relationship with her is much more protective. Like he's affectionate to her as like a surrogate princess because his is trapped in an incense burner somewhere nearby. I do. There's something very poetic and mythic about them tracking her by scent that is also very goofy.
It especially isn't it the scent of olives?
This translated it as osmanthus.
Okay, I swear it was olives.
Yeah, there was a translation where they said olives, yes.
Okay, because I'm like, some part chat like
Olives have a scent.
I mean, like,
that's
I assumed it was the flower of the olive tree because she's got those.
Mm.
oh.
She's got a very flower motif.
Hmm.
No, I always wondered that because I was like, she doesn't look like an olive.
No, osmanthus is a plant also called devilwood, and it's also called a fragrant tea olive.
Oh, okay, that makes way more sense.
Apparently, it tastes very good and has a very like floral and fruity smell.
Oh, so okay, that makes way because they never explain it in the 90s anime. They never explain what it smells like.
Yeah.
And I swear the only
Well,
translation I've ever seen is olive.
I assume that to the Japanese audience, the smell of osmanthus is something they are accustomed to, or
Mhm.
something that they would be familiar with, probably because there's more of those trees in Asia than there are in North America. Or like the climate is more suited to that than it is here. So they know what it smells like. And that's what those cases are like. So, you know how some manga have like cultural explanation notes in the back, which I
Mhm.
always appreciate. Like I always read them because I'm a big fucking dork. But yeah, that's this is referring to this flowering plant that the author would have been familiar with for whatever reason, uh, and it has this sort of tone. But I just googled it.
No, and that makes way more sense, and, like, it just solved a puzzle piece from whenever I watched it as an adult. Um, okay, but yeah, any other predictions you guys wanna make or theories of Cosmos?
My prediction is that it was going to be an accurate portrayal of the manga, which I am fucking stoked about.
Okay, so then tune in next time for me versus Monica whenever the movies come out, and we're gonna see who's right, and whoever's wrong, we'll just have a great talk about it. It's probably gonna be me, and I'm probably gonna be really sad. So tune in to see me sad. I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah, it's probably gonna end with them. Probably gonna end where this manga ends, and it's
Is that going to Sagittarius Star Zero?
yeah, it's hurry to me, Sailor Moon, so I can give you a more thorough beating and
Reading,
take
yeah.
everything you have left.
Yeah, and then there's a bit of slice of life stuff, and then Kaku is like, we have to go to Sagittarius Star Zero, and then it starts.
Because she meets Princess Kaku, and
Yep,
Yep.
and then does some slice of life stuff with Kaku too.
then Seiya kisses her.
Yeah,
He gets a quick,
he gets a little smooch.
just like Haruka does. And it's to like he's like trying to talk her into like, hey, you gotta do this. We're behind you. Please be the light of hope, essentially. Please do your job so we don't
Oh.
fail.
I don't know if the bigger printing has the cool like splash arts, the chapter splash
does.
arts like that. It does. Okay, yeah. This is Act 56. This is what I'm talking about with this big splash art. Uh,
Oh, that's so
That one.
pretty.
yeah, it's I think it'll start with a story beat right after that. Like
Oh,
that's where it's going to begin.
someone take down our predictions.
You are recording this. It
Oh,
will be
yeah.
recorded. We can go back and listen to it. So
That's true. Okay, so this will be fun. I was gonna say, Celine, where are you standing on the fight?
Loki, I also want you to know that
Um,
when I read that today and was like, "Oh, the Osmanthus translation," and the first thing that played in my head was Osmanthus wine tastes the same as.
exactly. I was like, Shangli.
Apparently, it has a very pleasant flavor, so I presume it's like dandelion wine and tastes the same as I remember. But where are those
Hmm.
who share the memory?
Genshin brain rot. My prediction I know where I think the movie's gonna end where the Stars manga first ends, where they
Mhm,
end that book, and then it'll start up with the whole battle. That or
mhm.
it's gonna start right after Chibiusa gets the quartet, and then it'll like, okay, now we're gonna go to the final battle. Like it might set up for that final battle and have her get the quartet and like her mom being like, you need to go to the past to fix shit.
'Cause
You
Queen
need to go
Serenity
help.
shows back up.
Yeah, she's
Um,
like, "You have to. I'm still alive for right now, so you have to go home."
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's either gonna end right there or there. So right around there is where that first movie's gonna end. I would like it to show something more. I would love for that. I would love a glimpse right at the end. Surprise, motherfuckers. Um,
That is going to be a
because if
surprise.
they do, like I said, I will sob, I will cry, probably throw up just a little because I'll be crying so fucking hard. We'll see if that's the announcement we're gonna get. We're gonna see if Naoko is gonna give us anything else because, like we've said before, she's so busy helping her husband with Hunter x Hunter that like she's barely gotten any artwork out. She's gotten stuff out for the museum, and that's really all the Sailor Moon art we've gotten from her
Mhm.
is like the new covers that we got from the Eternal mangas, and then a couple pieces of art, but we really haven't gotten much. I think she did the art for the ice skating because that looks like her art, or it could be one of her assistants who can mimic her art. But we'll see what happens if she even has the time, if she wants to continue it, because maybe she doesn't want to. There's some people we beg them for something, and they're like, "I don't wanna."
Which we respect, which, by the way, I would love it, but if she doesn't wanna do it, I don't want her to do it. Like, it has to be from a place in her heart.
I would.
But don't do it at the 50th anniversary when I'm an old fuck and you can give me a heart attack.
She's a little bit older than we are, so she'd be an old fuck too.
Yeah.
Fuck, I had something to say about new shit. I would love another story in the same universe. Not like we already told the story about these characters, and we know that the Silver Millennium is coming in the 30th century, which implies that either Usagi like dies and reincarnates and restarts that 1,000 years from now, or like I don't know, went into some mythopoetic stasis or something like that. But this assumes
Is it an
everybody
ice age?
something like that. This assumes everybody lives a full life and maybe has kids or whatever. So until the magic future, what do the next couple generations look like?
Or
It
if
would
they
be
did the
cool to see
Sailor
a
Moon shorts would be really cute.
yeah, oh
Like with
yeah, that'd be really
Kurosagi,
cute too. Yeah. Yeah.
'cause she has those. She has the little side story. That would be super cute.
It's funny, Monica, all you say is, "What if we got a different version?" And I'm like, "Oh, you mean how, like, the Utena movie was supposed to be about Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, and I'm gonna die bitter over that?"
Have you seen the Utsuna movie?
It could have been good with them. I believe in my heart.
It would have been a fever dream.
I would have loved it.
That movie is an
It's a
entire fever
It
dream.
is an entire fever dream. I said I started rewatching it last night with my friends because one of my buddies was like, "You know what I haven't seen in a while? Revolutionary Girl Utena." And I was like, "Shut up, I'm coming over." And I was like,
Glass
"Guys,"
in the door.
boom. I was like, "Guys, I want to get wizard high and watch the adolescence of Utena.
Oh my god.
Oh.
No,
Let's
but
go."
we actually are doing an episode on that the Utena movie was supposed to be about Uranus and Neptune, so look forward to that because that's before we go on break in July 1st.
The director of both that movie and Sailor Moon S is the sort of guy who's like, lesbians are so cool. I wish they were real.
If only they were real.
Real.
And Loki, you're not wrong. It literally would have broken my brain, but I would have broken happily. So, like, where's the downside?
I
So
also want to say that I just noticed that if the movie is a totally faithful adaptation of the manga, we're going to get a Sailor Galaxia transformation.
Yeah.
She does transform in the
Because she
manga.
does transform in the manga. She, the Star Gardeners are like kneeling in front of her in her weird, sexy, evil chambers. And she's like, Sailor Moon is here. I'm going to do an evil, villainous ritual preparation ceremony where I drop dead ass naked in front of the Star Gardeners and then transform in front of them.
iconic.
Powerfully homoerotic.
I
If
mean,
only the gays were real.
if we're just gonna go down that route, like, since are we good with predictions? Because then I have another route I always wanted to go down.
Sure.
Someone pointed out to me that the Animamate's outfits are all based on lingerie,
Yep.
and I never noticed that until we did the group. And then I was making mine, and I'm like, what could this be?" Like, and then it was like, someone's making a teddy, someone's making, like, and then I was like, "Ah, okay, chill." And then our group looked prior. But, like, it's funny if you actually do look at it. I'm trying to find a good full body picture of all of them. Rah, rah, rah. And,
As Loki says, listen, if I had her body, I also would girl boss gatekeep like that.
oh my gosh.
I'm like, fair enough.
Here. Oh, there we go.
I mean, we could get something, we don't know. They've been very secretive about the whole 30th year. We haven't really had any leaks anywhere, unlike during the last one. We had a lot of leaks, I feel like, in previous years for stuff. And
Mm.
this, as they hit the 30th, we've gotten, unless they announce it, we get nothing.
Yeah,
Absolutely nothing from them.
it's like if it gets rumored, it gets taken away.
There's nothing. There's no rumors. It's been absolutely like dead quiet. So it's very interesting how dead quiet it has been with this movie coming out. Yeah, those NDAs are stone solid.
You're not wrong. But here's an example of what we were talking about with the outfit, which, because if you notice, they're a little different from the villains we've seen in the past, but like, they all look fire.
Because they're supposed to be Sailor Scouts. So instead of skirts, they're just less clothed.
But they're like super cool and super pretty. Oh, we're our favorite Animamates. Sailor Denzel asked, I have a favorite, but here I have to pull up a picture. You guys go first.
Red Crow.
Why? Oh, I'm curious why.
This is actually for the 90s anime version who I want to kiss.
Fair enough.
I mean, that's fair.
For the Animamates, I actually love what's the butterfly one called? Papillon?
Sailor Heavy Metal Papillon.
Yeah. I love her character design. If I have to go with what we've seen in the anime, I actually love Iron Mouse. I think she is adorable. I also think her death is really sad. Like when she's begging, I was like, oh, I actually feel bad for her. Fuck.
But I found a picture. So this is my favorite. And somebody please correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Is it Sailor Phi?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Also, hi Loki.
So like this is my favorite Sailor Scout, and it's actually funny how it came out because Monica came to me with an idea and was like, "Hey," and at that point I had not really watched Stars. I was not really into like the Stars manga as much. And Monica's like, "I think you would be awesome as this character." And I looked her up and I looked up her design and then I looked up what she did and I was just like, "Hell yes." And then it was like, "This is my dream group." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Done." So then we did it, and I honestly love this cosplay so much. Like, I had fun making her, and she's just fun to wear. And like, the people who know you when you're a Sailor Anime is they love you because you're so obscure. And we actually we did photos with Soda, and she did our whole entire group. Which this is from my this is from my Deviant art, and this was our group.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And that's Monica as
That's
Sailor
me.
Galaxia.
There I
Was
am.
that the last Katsu before COVID?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it was but this group, the way this is at very iconic for cosplayers. This is at the Katsucon pool level. And just the way that the black and white worked with all the colors, it just I love it. I love this photo so much.
It's so hard to get out of there though sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like getting down there sometimes is a nightmare, but actually getting out of the pool area, getting back up in those elevators, nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
But yes, but Sailor Denzel, the reason she's my favorite is because okay, I used to really dislike Seiya. I just did not vibe with him the first time that I watched the 90s anime, and I was just like, "I'm not about this person. Why do people like him?" And then I rewatched Friends, and I was like, "Oh, okay, now I get it." And then and then I read the manga, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Because that's the thing, I didn't grow up on it, so I didn't really wanna read it or get into it because, like, it wasn't part of the, like, nostalgia brain of Sailor Moon, and I was just rediscovering the show. So that's kinda where my journey went. So
As
I
cosplay plans happen in the chat.
honest and I'm like,
Look, I'll be a queen, what's her name? Babidi.
"Oh, yeah." Oh my
I've already got the boots from Nehelenia. I can be tall as fuck.
cross plans happening live.
What is it? Her name is Queen Badianu.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I'm like bibbity bobbity boo. I don't fucking know.
The problem is we've tried to remember a lot of Sailor Moon character names.
No,
There's
Bibbidi
a voice
Bobbidi and
from
Boo are
those
from
out
DBZ.
there.
I got and
What was
then
that?
I said, no, Bibbidi Bobbidi and Boo are from DBZ.
Yes, it's true.
and then I did find the Sailor Galaxia entrance from the 1996 summer Sailor Moon Stars musical.
Okay.
Because you wanted to talk about her because she is
Oh,
so
yeah.
funny.
This woman who plays her is tremendous.
Yes.
Hmm.
So here, we'll just play a little clip, and this is from Adelina Iris on YouTube. So let's see it. So this is Usagi, and I even forget what's going. There's the 3 lights. Look at those shoulder pads. Them shoulders. I can't.
So the plot of this musical, if it's the one I'm thinking of, is actually that as part of her plan to take over everything, Galaxia resurrects the Dark Moon Kingdom, like the very first villains,
Oh,
and like, makes the Shiteno and Queen Beryl work for her,
oh,
which is a wild concept.
somebody was throwing darts in the Sailor Moon idea room.
But it like fucks though. Like I really like the plot of this musical.
I kind of love that
It's
you do that.
I think you can watch the whole thing on YouTube, and it's very goofy, but I like it so much.
Was Uranus?
Yes.
Did she just yeet that bouquet from Saya?
Yes.
That was iconic. I swear this was Galaxia's entrance.
Just
There
look
we
up the
go.
video for Galaxia Gorgeous.
Nope, there it is. There it is.
Okay.
Look
is
at the shining glory.
Yeah. We get a good sound of her voice?
Oh, yeah. Pull
Yeah.
it 1 sec.
Put the volume on for when she's chewing that fucking scenery.
And she does have a deep voice.
That is the voice I was remembering. Thank you, Monica. I in my mind. I was like, I swear her voice was deeper. It was the 1996 musical.
It's the musical. Yeah, it's such a perfect voice.
Oh my god, she's my favorite. I love her. Narky and that voice. I love it. Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
even the 90s anime, her voice is much more like, I don't
Yeah.
even, Isama, like, she's like
Powerful.
deep. She's like, huh.
Yeah.
Like, she's in charge. And I think that's one of the things I'm going to have a problem with is the English is she sounds more like a Sailor Scout than she does a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would, if they could have found a voice actress like the musical, I could have just died happy right now. Yes.
Isn't her voice Megumi Hayashibara?
Is
Like,
it her? King,
Is it? Or am I remembering the wrong person?
let me check the 1996 musical.
No. For Cosmos. Sorry.
Oh, can somebody fact check? Cosmos Galaxia just sounds too young. I agree, really. Cosmos Galaxia, it's the Luna effect. It's the I wish.
No, I was right.
Oh, you are right? Okay, cool.
Yep.
But yeah, she sounds like it's how it's like how we always say we want British Luna. There's certain voices I think that we as a generation, or if you watch this kind of stuff, like you get attached to. So it's going to be really interesting that we are going to have a brand new medium that none of us have ever heard.
Or like British Amy.
What about British Princess Serenity? Hi. Happy birthday to Super
Boston Naru.
Boston Naru. Boston Naru and Melvin are my favorite.
Just I miss some of the voices because I'm just like, they actually fit the characters. Like,
Yeah, that
surprisingly.
this conversation, the subject of British Luna and the Deke dub came up in conversation last night, and driving me to be like, "Oh, Serene," at my wife. And then I was like, there was something about that that's both deeply nostalgic and also terrible.
But it's
Mhm.
terrible in the best possible way.
I was like, just keep British Luna, at least.
At
Or
least-
like, give her like that motherly voice that she had. I was like, I understand Luna's not supposed to be that much older, but still.
But the way she has to act towards Usagi is very motherly.
Hmm.
It's either motherly or the cool aunt who has to babysit.
It's true.
But yeah, so musical Galaxia, what I thought was interesting in the clip that we just watched is that you see her actually literally just kill 2 scouts off like that. like she was flicking mosquitoes, like bink, bink. And
Because
just,
she's that powerful. It's ridiculous how powerful she is.
she really is, though.
I do find it interesting that the musicals actually do from what I remember just like seeing, they use Galaxia a lot as their villain for the musicals. Like I feel like I've seen her in a lot of the pictures as the villain other than Beryl.
Her design is just built for the stage.
Am I wrong? Is she like in a lot is
I
she the
I
villain
was
for a
I
lot of the musicals?
I was trying to think. I think it's 2. I think there's 2 musicals where she's the villain. Because Beryl is the villain in another 2. Dracula is a villain at least once. And, like, sometimes it gets yeah. Yeah, sometimes the villain's just
It's just
Dracula.
trash. I mean,
Um,
sometimes the villain is a tennis shoe.
yeah.
Welcome to Sailor Moon.
I can't remember if there was a Nehelenia one at all or not. I don't think there was.
What, a musical?
Yeah.
There is a musical version of Queen Nehelenia. Okay.
Yes, I think there is like one.
Isn't it the most recent?
I'm wondering if they were like, fuck this wig. And I was like, big mood. As someone who's had to wear that wig,
I
big
swear
mood.
she exists. I swear there's a musical. Ah, where is Z when I need her? Calling Sailor Moon Turtle, help. I swear there's a musical version. Let's see. Musical Sailor.
There's 3
Three.
musicals in the Dracula arc. Excuse me?
I'm so glad I remembered that right because I said that and I was like, boy, I hope I didn't make up there was a musical where the villain's fucking Dracula.
Sailor
What the
Moon is a
fuck?
fever dream.
What?
All right,
How does
maybe
that even the Sailor Moon?
They make it
That's
work.
pretty chaos. I mean, I
aha!
know they have Diamond
I found it. I found
in
it.
like 2 of them.
So it was Sailor Moon. Oh no, it's in French. I thought Usagi. No, no, French. Sailor Moon, Amor? Yeah, Amor
More.
Eternal. Pamphlet translation from Miss Dream, which is one of my favorites, by the way. There is a solo picture of the queen. Those 3. There.
Yeah, I was like, I thought she got a musical, but it was a more recent one.
Yes. It is not the, I don't know what they did in the 90s. We would have to check, but yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure she existed.
Look how they spell it. Neherenia.
I'm, like, interested in her top that they, like, did a really heavy lace. It looks really cool. And also, I don't know, I'm digging it. Oh, we got lots of comments. What's going on?
Okay.
Apparently there was 3 musicals with Dracula as the villain.
What? Since when does Dracula ever show up?
He is
There's a
public domain.
whole arc
Oh my gosh.
to write about.
Back to Galaxia, because we need to keep going and finish her.
So
But
I don't know
that's
how many
cool.
musicals had Galaxia, but I feel like a couple of them did.
Yeah, I
I
think there were 2.
I think the 90s was the most memorable if you've seen both. But I
Mhm.
also think the newer one, the reason the more people know her is because the movie was in theaters or the musical was
Oh.
in movie theaters in America. Because I remember I went to go see it with friends and it was really great to actually like see it on the big screen. But I definitely have a memory of seeing the musical. So that might be also why more people know. But
That's
okay.
probably why. Because I know that they're starting to like actually screen that stuff over here, which is nice.
Thank
Well, because
goodness.
it sold out when it came over here. When they actually came over here and did a special, that sold out so fast.
It was hard to get tickets.
I was like, no, I want tickets. And I saw the price and I was like, oh, my wallet says no.
Oh, 7. Okay.
Just kidding.
Tying with Queen Beryl for the most appearances of any single villain. Okay, so you were right.
Never
I was supposed to say, I was like, I remember seeing like a lot of her on the cover. Because
Okay.
when I look for merch, a lot of the musical stuff's usually on sale, and I usually see like Galaxia in different covers. I
Oh,
was like,
wonder how many versions of that costume exist out there. But cool, thank you. That's actually I didn't know that, so that's really neat.
I mean, they probably had the most like what they could do with storyline with them, because
Yeah.
Galaxia can just bring people fucking back to life.
Oh, I had another off the wall theory that I wanted to go
Okay.
over for Sailor Galaxia. You guys ready for this one?
Sure.
Because Selene and Loki are going to be like, "Mm." So what
Are you racing
if
again? Are you breaking your back?
I am always because it involves a Mama Moon, so, and not Mama Moon, Mama Moon. Sorry,
Mhm.
K-pop joke. What if the person who broke Galaxia, like who was the person who betrayed her, was Queen Serenity, and she stole the crystal and left Galaxia to suffer?
Did she leave the planet at that point? Was she already off the planet when
We don't know.
Queen Serenity had claimed the crystal?
Unless I'm wrong. I could be wrong on timeline, but it made sense in my brain where because Queen Serenity's running from something. Galaxia is angry at the universe and destroying everything in sight, which sounds like, like you were saying, a trauma response in a way. Like she's angry over something. So I was like, what could that something be that was the thing besides loneliness that could have pushed her over the edge? And I'm like, what if they tie it all back in with Queen Serenity? Because remember, Queen of Helena was going about how she was the light of the moon, but like that she had a dark past.
Oh, you mean Queen Serenity the First?
Yes, Bun's
Yeah.
the first.
Okay.
Fun.
Not Neo Queen.
Neo
Sorry,
Queen Serenity, right? Yeah.
for everybody, Bun's the first.
But Bun's the first. Yeah.
Bun's the first.
That's you were right the first time. Bun's the first.
Bun's the first. I call him Bun's first, Bun's the second, and then Chibi Bun. And then if we're gonna get into Chibi Buns, like we'll get Bun's the third, Bun's the fourth. For those who don't know who I was talking about this character, Queen Serenity. Yeah, she comes
Would the
back.
timelines match up then?
I think they do. I really do.
We don't know when exactly Sailor Galaxia became
Starts
a Sailor
doing her shit.
granted her shit, got her transformation, had her hero's journey. And also did a cat from their universe come over and talk to her? How we don't know how that whole thing got started, right?
Oh, wait, we do Loki. We do have some indication because Sailor Tenyanko calls them traitors.
Hang on.
I like the Monica grabs book.
Hang on.
Yes, she does. Because they left way before that.
Yeah. So what if Queen Serenity and Sailor Galaxia were like the last two left on something, and then Queen Serenity is I have one chance here because they both want power, they both want to rule the galaxy. Queen
I mean,
Serenity,
I think Queen Serenity was happy in her own little
but
section of the galaxy.
but she
'Cause
made
she didn't move from that.
but she might have took it.
Possibly,
we
or
all-
she awakened it.
We also already know that the crystal that Galaxia has is her own and it has a name.
Yeah. So what if Galaxia was the Sailor Scout and Queen Serenity was jealous because she wasn't?
But what does she have to be jealous of, though?
She wants the power.
But
I don't
she
know.
already has her Silver Imperium crystal, because that's the whole thing, that it's Usagi inherits it from Buns the First, right? Did I remember that right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay. And I might just be completely off theory, but I was trying to think of who in the world they could tie in. Oh, because of how they treated Queen Serenity in the Eternal movie, which Monica hasn't seen. So that might be okay. Fine, it's fine. I'm done.
Okay.
It's fine. I just thought because
I'm
of how
trying to
they
think of
animated
the
her.
timelines because yes, Nyanko like mentions Luna and Artemis, and that's because she overhears them talking with Sailor Mao, saying, "Please go do your duty and be the advisors for this queen." And so she thinks that they betrayed because they left and then the planet like got destroyed even though she's the one who fucking threw Sailor Mao under a bus, essentially. Like it's her fault. But I think that happens later on, like after the collapse of the Silver Millennium,
Mhm.
like the destruction of Mao.
Yeah. Which
But we
it
also
totally
don't know how far into the galaxy Mao is.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Like we don't know where that is, what the how far it is. We don't know when Nyanko actually became an Animamate.
So we have one line of dialogue that says, Luna and Artemis are Mautians. Hell, that this translation goes with that. the two of them have their own mother planet, just like Phobos and Deimos. So you did remember right. I guess there is a scene where Lead Crow gets mad.
Mhm.
Phobos, Mars's crows, and they too left their distant homeland and came to the solar system to help us. So it's not nearby.
Interesting.
Now, maybe I'm like you said the betrayal thing. I think it's maybe like the idea maybe, but it's bigger scale than just the solar system. Maybe now I'm thinking about the implied interstellar politics of Sailor Moon.
Exactly. Like, that's like and it was this moment in Sailor Moon Eternal. So,
We know
she
that the Maotians came to our solar system to help us. Why?
we don't know. They
Yeah,
just and why do
so
they have moons?
which indicates that there's some sort of relation between wherever planet Mao is and here.
Mhm. And it was to guide the young queen,
So,
the
like,
new queen
I
of the
see
moon,
the
to
I see
help guide her with
I
advice.
see the connection. I just don't think it's necessarily a betrayal. But
So,
I
I
mean,
think
okay,
it
like
might
a
have been
betrayal in the sense that you were thinking of it at, but it might have
I
been
just
yeah.
bigger than that.
I'm good with that. I feel like the way they set up Queen Serenity in Sailor Moon Eternal, I don't know. Like, I just get villain vibes with the way she treated Queen Nihilania.
That or Chaos is the one who plants essentially the whole hatred for the White Moon again, because again, the first Queen Serenity, she takes the silver crystal from the Chaos Cauldron. That's what she creates. She creates the light from the darkness. And that light can actually hurt Chaos if he does not get a hold of it or they don't
Mhm.
get a hold of it. And I could see her maybe knowing about Buns the First simply through Chaos when
Mhm.
she does go to try and find the Galaxy Cauldron herself. Because when from what I can feel in the timeline, from what I read in the manga, Galaxia doesn't find the Galaxy Cauldron until much later.
Yeah.
Mm.
When the silver crystal's already made, Buns the First has already gone there again and gotten pregnant the Virgin Mary style because of the cauldron. And Chaos is like asleep at that point because she essentially puts Chaos to sleep when she's finished. Because I think that's where they mention the Sailor Wars, don't they? Or
Yeah,
the
I think that's right.
creation, like they were settling the Sailor Scouts or whatever, or they were settling the universe like after the Big Bang. Essentially, I keep hitting my mic. I'm so sorry.
Usually it's me
Um,
who's slapping the shit out of this.
We're all just very big hand talkers, though. So,
so I could see he knew about Buns the First, but I think she would be upset with the power that was had, but she would only know about it through Chaos.
mm.
She would never have met Buns the First. I don't see the storylines adding up where she would have met her.
Ooh, Relia arc coming in. Let's see.
It's really a got
Do you mind reading it
there's
out loud?
I got it. Yeah. There's some degree of implication, I think, both in how Nehelenia talks about her backstory with Queen Serenity and in the backstory with the Earth Kingdom that Serenity and her family did not set up their own
Ethno
ethno
state on the
state
moon.
and treated themselves as benevolent rulers over lesser beings since the moon folk were much longer lived. So there's some implication that the Moon Kingdom was understandably creating resentment.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Well, yeah, 'cause they take the princesses of the planet and they're like, okay, well, you're gonna serve the moon. Sailor Moon's an Italian,
Yeah.
so they should have added that in like the Italian version, her mom going like this at her. So, like I said, I could see with you, like your thing, I could see
Mhm.
Chaos creating a dislike for the White Moon because Buns the First already got that power, and Galaxia was seeking that power, and her
Meanwhile, like
having
on the thing that whatever Galaxia was doing was happening on the ass end of the universe on the other
yeah,
side, like on the planet where Trigun takes place. Like,
bumfuck no, like
yeah,
we out there. Uh, Flashbacks and later story arcs revealed more about Queen Serenity's time ruling the Silver Millennium. She granted the respective planetary castles to Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto upon their birth. That's the movie you do when you conquer someone. Take your princess hostage to serve you.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Mm. So, like I said, I could see Galaxia having a resentment towards Usagi because Usagi's the one who inherits this power. But it's interesting because she doesn't just start, like, snatching the star crystals from everyone except for Mamoru, like, out of nowhere, and, like, she doesn't go and
Mm.
attack Usagi directly. So,
Oh.
it's very interesting, like, how they take the star crystals, like, even in the manga and in the '90s anime. It's almost like they don't know who actually holds them until, like, they're transformed to Sailor Scouts. I mean, in the '90s anime, they have no fucking clue because they don't attack the Scouts that way.
Yeah, fair.
Now in the manga, yes, because they fucking obliterate the Scouts 2 at a time. There's, like
Quickly.
it's very quick how people go. It's,
Right.
Jupiter and Mercury, and then it's, Mars and
Mars and
Venus
Venus.
when Usagi's not even with them. It's Usagi, Ichiru, and Haruka are at school, and then they feel the lights go out. Like, so back to the whole thing, I think she could have resentment for them, and that's
Mhm.
why she, like, does all this stuff against Usagi the way she does, like, in the manga specifically, because we have the Galaxy culture, and we don't have that in the '90s anime. Mm, especially with the way she murders Mamoru in front of Usagi's face.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that is personal. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
why I'm like,
She just goes, "Bink," right in front of Usagi, just and you're like that's why when I was reading, I'm, like, sitting here, like, flipping through, and I went, "Forgot how this fucking happened."
that's how it starts. Like, just the immediate escalation. That's where it starts.
it's basically yeah, like, the people who've never seen stars, who've never read the manga are going to be in for a shock.
Yeah, God.
'Cause it
So
happens almost within the first 5 pages of the Stars arc in the manga. It's like, they're saying goodbye, he's given her the engagement ring, they kiss and they part, and then all of a sudden it's "Bink," and I was like, "Jesus Christ." So I'm wondering if they're gonna do it that quickly.
I might, like, I thought I saw maybe parts of that in one of the trailers, actually.
Are they gonna do it within the first 10 minutes?
Oh, probably, because I think that's where it would land if you were
Yeah, the first 10 minutes.
animating out the beginning of the story.
Unless they do, like, a small flashback with what happened in the last
Oh,
movie,
yeah, there might
they're
be a
just
little
getting over
recap.
Nehelenia, and I'm hoping they don't do too much of that. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that they don't spend the first 45 minutes giving us a recap of Sailor Moon Eternal. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Just give us the manga.
Just do
Yeah, I
Cosmo.
mean, it's a movie, so I don't think they would, but you never know.
They thought that about Demon Slayer, and then it was, like, a recap of a whole thing that they've already done, and I was like, "Why? Please." So hopefully it starts, and then within the first 10 minutes, I'll be like, "Bye, mama."
Bye, mama. Okay, any last things you guys want to, talk about with her? Because it is almost time to wrap up the show, or it is time. Because we talked about
I hit everything on the list if I'm remembering right.
Oh, I had one more question for you. Okay, and audience, feel free to answer too. So, I think it's interesting because is her title the Guardian, the Sailor of Destruction?
Yes.
Yes.
So, has that always been her title?
We don't know.
It just says that.
Yeah,
Where
there's no indication that it isn't. That she
where
hasn't
did
always just been like this.
Mhm.
do you think she's always been like this and that was just why she got that
She also says that her crystal, the sapphire crystal, is the crystal of destruction, and like there's some implication that it's like number 2 to the silver crystal's number 1.
Really?
Yeah,
Talk ab I you know what, we didn't really touch on her crystal because I feel like her crystal's kind of
it's
important.
my favorite weird little bit of deep lore.
Go for it.
Like, it's just that it's a very easy thing to miss because I think it's only mentioned once. Like the thing on her chest is implied to be second only to the other big crystal MacGuffin with a name. Like the only other named specific crystal is the Silver Imperium crystal, and then Galaxia holds hers up, names it the Sapphire crystal, and proclaims it like the peer of the other one, and then like transforms with it.
Hmm.
And it's like just a couple panels, and that lives rent free in my brain.
Interesting, because it's like, was that her real like, was that Did her crystal actually have a title before, or did she
We
give it a
see her
title?
transformed in that bar scene, and that's before she talks to Wise Man and gets the like chaos power up bracelets.
Interesting.
So we see her transformed in the planet she was hanging out in the bar in.
Mhm.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting.
And then gets corrupted even more by chaos. Because she's like, was she by herself on her planet? Is that what she indicated?
Yes,
Yeah.
there was
Yeah. So
some
she
level of
has no interactions with people. She's not very good at it. That's why she just was like, this guy's trash. Um,
This is an interesting comment from Sailor Denzel. What if she's the first Sailor Guardian,
oh,
and that's why she
damn.
was alone?
it could have
Oh,
been because she was so far out in the galaxy that she was the first piece to be part of the Big Bang. And
mhm.
that's why it went
Ooh,
out so far.
that could be in
So
the
it could
Big
be the
Bang.
furthest piece of the Big Bang that went out. Because she's supposed to be like middle of fucking nowhere. Like she has to travel, like figure out travel in her scout form to be able to go to other places where there's actual people.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, I
So
found the panel where she is sitting in the bar, transformed, and you can see there are no bracelets on her.
Huh?
mm.
No bracelets at all.
Is her brooch thing on her chest?
It's also not on her chest. Not
Ooh,
in that panel.
that's a spicy contribution.
Maybe she transformed when she went near the galaxy cauldron.
Maybe.
What if the
Maybe it
galaxy is
changed.
Panel where it's not on her chest either.
So it might have happened after the galaxy cauldron.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because what does the galaxy cauldron grant your deepest wish? Is that it?
No, it's just the birthplace of stars. It's
Okay.
just the place where you can hit the reset button on the whole universe.
I was trying to remember how
Take
Buns the
power from
First.
it.
Okay, because I was trying to remember how Buns the First made Princess Serenity.
She's no, it's probably because she had the silver crystal that she was able to do it, but she stood by the galaxy cauldron and wished for a child. So she was able to get a new star and put it in her.
And
Usagi is essentially supposed to be the star of the moon. So
I,
she's the holder of the
I have a thing. What if it runs by a wish? Because it was her deepest wish. What if Galaxia's deepest wish was to be powerful and she took the crystal and that became the blue star sapphire?
I'd buy that.
like she wished for it.
She
She
wished
was
for
like, I
power.
want something as powerful as this other thing I've heard of.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd buy that.
But the thing is Buns the First already took the light. She took the light from the cauldron. That is what the silver crystal is. So that's why Galaxia's is second to that.
Yeah.
Because
And then
there's probably not
we
as much there's not that power anymore.
every
Mm.
other time it's I wondered I was like, "Oh, maybe she forgot to draw it in a panel." So I went and looked at that. Every other time post Galaxy Cauldron, she has the thing on her chest too.
So she could have sold her star seed or sold.
And it explodes with the bracelets when she dies.
Ooh.
No, it falls on the ground.
Yeah,
Because
fall
Usagi
off.
picks it up
Right. Yeah,
and then
and
it
looks at it.
dissolves.
And yes. And
Oh,
then her bracelets explode off and then she dies.
Which would explain why she died when the things cracked, because she no longer actually has a true star seed. That was chaos giving her a crystal.
and by the way, a Loki coming in saying a quote, "The galaxy cauldron is a sea of possibilities. I'm telling you, I feel like that might be it." Welcome.
He said, the galaxy cauldron is the most powerful star in the universe, responsible for the cycle of life and death of all things. It is located at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, at the core of the Sagittarius zero star. The next thing is every star seed which has, can, and will exist is melted down and indistinguishable within. And long ago, everything was once together within the cauldron sea. Furthermore, if the future is changed so that a certain star seed will not be born, they will continue to exist within the cauldron as it is the source of possibilities. Those who return in the cauldron can be reborn later as they continue to exist within it. Because in when after Galaxia dies, Cosmos is like, you have to destroy it. And Usagi is like, no. Usagi's like, no. Because Cosmos, which I don't like the fact that they say that Cosmos is Sailor Moon in the future, because I'm like, you're not making any sense, because in the past manga, once she became Neo Queen Serenity, she was no longer a Sailor Scout. So I'm just like, okay, reaching, but okay. So you don't know, because it's like all this stuff is in the Galaxy Cauldron, and Usagi's gonna go try and rebirth it. And I don't know what's gonna happen. And because Galaxy doesn't come back. So I'm just like, bring the hot mama back.
In that sort of redo everything kind ending there, I always assumed when everybody comes back that if Galaxia was brought back, she's, well, back in the Trigon ass end of the universe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. All right. Well, I think we should call it because we've officially hit the hours.
Okay.
And this is going to be a part 2 already, though, because now Monica and my theories got to go against each other to see who's right and what's going to happen. We'll have to have some kind of movie.
We'll see if we're gonna be able to see it, though, because they still have not made an announcement over here of if Netflix is gonna have it at the same time like they did for Eternal.
I hope so.
Fingers
Please.
crossed. I would also pay money to go see that in the theater.
Oh, me too. Easy.
There's as crazy as I've been looking at movie theaters, there's still no announcement whether or not theaters are gonna show it here, and I'm like, "Really? How fast did Demon Slayer sell out
Hmm.
in theaters when you had the Demon Slayer the movies here?"
I hope.
I wanna go see it in theaters. I would love to go see it subtitled in theaters.
Yeah, for real. Me too.
All right. So, Celine, you ready to wrap us up?
Monica, if you wanna give yourself a plug really quick before I finish.
Okay.
Ooh,
If you
second.
want to follow me on a social media, what?
Yee.
There we go. Okay, now you're good.
Ah.
If you want to follow me on social media, I am Dice-Wizard on Tumblr. Uh, if you want to listen to me talk about tabletop RPG design, my other special interest besides this one, I have a design show called Bonus Experience, which you can find at bxpcast.com. It's also on YouTube. If you look up Bonus Experience Podcast, you'll find it. And that also links to some of my other podcast side projects, which are increasingly niche. So if you look at any of those websites, you can find them and figure that out for yourself. So that's me.
And we love you. All right.
Yes, thank you for being here. Thank you for talking points.
Yeah, I
Important
am
points.
happy to talk about this, and I'll come back anytime you want me on.
Of course.
My other special interest.
Yes, and I love going around because, like, I came up with half those theories on the fly. All right,
I
you
mean,
ready?
we gotta do something after the movies come out if we get to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll announce
Okay.
it after we know we get to see it.
I hope so. Fingers crossed. We'll
Fingers
see what happens. That or I'm gonna be I'll be watching it anyway. All right, guys, this brings us to the end of our show. Thank you for enjoying and being here, just for joining us for episode 8 of season 2. We'd like to again to thank Monica for joining us today for our Moonie Mayhem. As always, our fellow Moonies, make sure you follow us on all of our socials. You can find those on our link tree in our description. And don't forget to join us next Saturday as we go on another Moonie adventure from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. And I am also a Twitch streamer, so you can follow me at my name, which is Celine_Laufeson. I also have an Instagram. I'm also a cosplayer. I haven't done it in a while, but there are cosplay photos up there. You can find me on my Instagram at Catarata, or you can look at Catus Creations. I do
Shoot.
other stuff on there, and I do my streaming stuff.
It got moved. Sorry. I'll fix it next
It-
week.
Then
This is called Michi the Tech Quiz. All right. As always, I have been your host, Michi. You can find my personal socials at MEW21 underscore or cosplay on Instagram and MEW21. But a lot of different other things. For Eternal Mooncast, you can find older episodes of our show as a podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. New episodes come out of the podcast on Moonie Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern, and a visual guide for the episode on Instagram. You can actually find Monica on, I think it was either episode 7 or 8, what is the real between Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune. So if you enjoyed Monica, I highly suggest checking out that episode. There will be 10 episodes to the first season. We appreciate any likes to support, any way you feel like, follows, comments, everything you do. We just genuinely appreciate it. As a quick reminder, these are just our personal opinions, and we celebrate all respectful Moonie opinions here. We are working hard on the show to be a place for Moonies to come together and discuss their theories that from their love and passion of Sailor Moon. As Sailor Uranus once said, there's no turning back when you're chasing the wind. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a great night.